are not by the bonfire, unfortunately. My poor wife, she gotta listen to this, man. I'm yelling. I'm gonna be yelling for the next 2 hours. I said, my poor wife, she gotta listen to me yell for the next 2 hours. I was planning originally on doing this outside tonight, but it got windy, and it just got too windy to have at it. So I decided, well, we'll push it. There'll be maybe another week, another two. Listen, as soon as it warms up enough to where I can take it outside, I'm gonna sit around the fire and just be like, yo, let's kick it. Just burn, I was gonna do it, but the problem is the stand holds the phone up. Well, it would have been, hey, yo, what's up, Jay Mosca in the house. Just thinking about you, Jay. How you been, man? New Jersey's finest. He rocks the art thing apparel. You know what, Jay? I got something to show you, man. I hope you're still watching. You see this? You know the book, The Last Mafioso, right? So, a shout out to my business partner, who's the wise man who optioned the film rights to this book, The Last Mafioso, which I'm assuming, Jay Mosca, you've read. It's one of only 3 mafia books I've ever read, not including my own. I read Sammy's book when I was in prison. Somebody handed it to me. I read it. And then I read this one. And then I read The Five Families, which was so boring and freaking almost, I wanted to kill myself. Like Saul and Rob just ramblings. But anyways, so this book, believe it or not, is a brilliant book. It's an incredible story by Jimmy Fracciano. Jimmy the Weasel, they call him. Cleveland guy by way of L.A. mob guy by way of Cleveland, by way of Detroit, by all connected, and he had a beef with Frank Sinatra. For whatever reason, Frank Sinatra didn't like Jimmy Fracciano. There's his theories on it in there, and just a couple stupid things, but whatever it was, Frank Sinatra loved mob dudes. He just didn't like Jimmy Fracciano for whatever reason, and so it created this strange rift in the Rat Pack. I'm gonna get comfortable, man. I wonder if I can get back here. I decided I'd do it in the other room because it looks like I'm in the waiting room of a doctor's office or something with this. This is actually our dining room, believe it or not. But it looks like it's like a doctor's office or something. Kind of cool. If you look, we live in an old farmhouse, and then that thing is there built into the wall. And it's just canning stuff. And then over there is a hallway that leads to our bedroom and the living room. Anyways, so Jimmy Fracciano, so the guy, and shout out to Dave. But I'm going to say his last name. Maybe he sees this. I know he's watching some of my YouTube. But I got to compliment that dude. And the reason I'm complimenting that dude is he's a smart dude, so he had a plan, he had an idea, and it was a great idea. It's a really good idea. To get the film rights to this and then ask me to be a partner in it almost guarantees that it'll be a success because I won't stop until it is. I don't know how long it'll take. I definitely will put my novels in front of it if I'm going to present it to a big shot producer or big shot director, but it's a fantastic book. I mean, it's right up there with my book. Believe me, I read this thing 25 years ago when I was in the county jail, and I just thought it was an amazing story. From a storyteller standpoint, an amazing story. Not just because none of it really resonated with me, although there is a Detroit element. There's a point in the book where one of their kind of crew ends up marrying a high-level Detroit mob guy's daughter, and they all go to Detroit for the wedding, and that same guy who married her, one time he buried a body. He didn't want to do it. When they told him to do it, he acted like, what the fuck, I got to do it. And he's like, man, shut the F up and go bury the bodies. So after he married the Detroit daughter, they went to the wedding, and Jimmy jokingly was like, shook his hands like, yeah, I guess you won't be burying bodies no more, huh? And what he was trying to say is like he married into royalty. That's what it says right in the book. Like the guy married into this Detroit mob royalty, so he's going to be freaking set, And I thought it was kind of cool, but the story itself really, really good. It ends just and it's my cat. This is my cat. This is Missy's mom. Missy's mom loves me so much that she won't leave me alone. Sharp claws. She follows me around. She's been really sick, by the way, really sick. See, that's all she wants to do is snuggle me. I had to take her to the doctor, the vet, last week, 5 days ago. She's been on antibiotics. She's doing a lot better. She was coughing and coughing and coughing, and she wasn't responsive. Like she didn't eat one day, didn't drink one day, was like not responsive. I'm like, what the hell, man? I might lose her, man. Another day or two like that, and they can die. And ever since then, I like look at this. Is all she wanted. She came up to me just now, climbed on my chest. I just want to sit here, feel safe. She's so cute and small. She's a little tiny thing, a little miniature cat. It's about half the size of a regular cat. I'll be okay when I'll be done in a minute. Little sweetie, she'll sit right there. I'll be typing, working on my book, and she'll curl up in my neck while I'm like trying to type, just snuggle against me. Thanks, Jay. She's a beauty. I don't know if she's a beauty. She's right now. She had this big mat of hair, that like her fur turned to like wool and became like a mat, like a blanket woven to her on her back. It was really weird, really weird. Chunks of it were falling out. I'll show you, man. I had to shave it. I had to shave it off. The doctor told me to shave it off. Look at, see right there? It's all shaved right there. There's a big hunk of fur. She's doing all right, but the doctor said that like it's painful and that it can get infected or what underneath it. So she's like, yeah, I'll get it off there for $50. I'm like, no, you won't. I said, I'll get it off there for free. I got a trimmers at home. And of course they wanted to charge me to do it. I'm like, oh, yo, slow down. I got trimmers on it. She'll let me do it. Let me see. Has Scott ever been threatened by the family or approved by his journalism? No. That's a great question. Noid. 313, Noid 313. Great friggin' handle. Noid. Scott has been threatened once. But Scott has run into Jackie a couple of times. And in fact, Scott paid for Jackie's dinner one day. And they were at a restaurant, I think Bloomfield. And he came over. Scott said, he walked over to him and said, hey, how you doing? Mr. Giacalone, yada, yada, yada. And he said, hey, Scott, how you doing? How's business? And Scott was like, yeah, said something like, slow. How's your business? And like Giacalone looked at him like, really? And so Scott says, oh, no, whatever. So, but they were cool. I know Scott had an issue with Specs Toko. I think it was, he wrote an article about his nephew, which would be my cousin. That's Paul is his name. And they didn't like the article. So they got word to Scott, like, I was like, man to man, please take that down. Makes my son look like an asshole or whatever. And so they did, or his nephew. So Scott said, okay, yeah, pull it. But I'm not going to go into what it was, because I don't really want to even bring it up, because they obviously didn't want to talk about. I know what it is, but he is, nobody's ever like threatened him. But he did once. I can't remember the scenario. But there was one thing Scott wrote about somebody who was tied to this like small time weed grow, medium sized weed grow, and it was connected to somebody really high up the ladder, had invested in it. And then so Scott wrote about it. And then same thing, they said, we want to meet you. And they went and met, and a couple of guys that were big tough guys, big intimidating guys, kind of told him, Scott, that article is no good, take it down, whatever. And he did. Scott's not stupid. But I knew the guys. I know the guys. It's funny. I don't think the one is, no threat. But you never know. Could be wrong. So, but I like the guy. I actually really like him. He's mad cool. Super cool. So the guy had told Scott that. But Scott's my boy. I got this cat. I can't do. She's sitting on my lap. As soon as I take her off my lap or off my chest, she just comes back. So I'm gonna try to come. She just clings to me. I'm gonna try to let her just cozy in. She'll curl right up on my lap. She won't leave. It's amazing. Little cat. I love her. It's my miracle cat. So I have no problem snuggling up to her. Snoid 313 hit me with my first super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Appreciate those and all donations. I forgot totally. You know what? The honest to God truth, I forgot about super chats. Now it's like I just enjoy doing this. I'm looking forward to doing this all week, just doing it live. Just kind of, honey. can you bring me a charger, Doodle? My phone just went to 20%. But I've been thinking about all the week, stuff I want to talk about, and yeah, there's all the stuff I want to talk about. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I have all these. Al, have you ever had a personal experience with demons like the missus? I'm going to tell you the Nicholas Green one. So I'm glad that's a great question, and really, I'm thank you that you asked that. Another great question from Nicholas Greenwood, the thinker. This guy is a thinker. He's asking questions. You see my cat right now. She's just bang. I ain't going nowhere. So when I was in prison, I had a cellmate who I can't remember his last name, but he was a pedophile, and he was a big muscle bound white dude, and kind of thought he was tough. I had to punk him out one time in there, and he got all loud and sorry. So he got all loud, and I had to check his ass, tell him, man, all that weightlifting ain't gonna freaking help you if I decide to beat your freaking ass, and so he kind of understood, but he would sleep at night, and he would be tormented. He'd be going, no. And I'm like, that dude's got a demon on his ass. But personally, no, because if I would have remembered it. Believe me, I wouldn't miss it. I believe I ran into a ghost one time when I was a little kid. I know you're going to think this is crazy. Of course you would think it's crazy, but I remember it plain as day. I've told it to my wife and every person I've ever probably met that's been a friend of me. I mean, not everybody, but close friends. I was about 5 years old, and hot summer day, window was open, sister's in the bed we had twin beds, me and my sister in the same room. I'm wide awake because I'm really hot, middle of the night, sitting there listening to the sounds of it. We live 3 blocks from Detroit, in Grosse Pointe, so a really nice area, but 3 blocks away is the ghetto. And so you could hear tons of city stuff, ambulances, the trains, plus we live right by the Detroit River, so you had freighters coming through. They're only like 2 blocks away, so. And all of a sudden, I don't know the sound that I heard, it was just like, and just in the room with me. It was in the room. Like, it looked like it sounded like it's coming from the corner of the room. I got scared. I was a very scared kid. I got under the blanket and I thought, man, that's freaky. And then I heard it again. And I'm looking over at my sister. She don't wake up. How's she not hearing that so loud? So about that time, I say to myself, I don't think it was like I unconsciously knew God could protect me or would. I just said, it can't hurt me. I threw the blanket off and I jumped out of bed and I said, if it's a ghost, he can't hurt me. So I stood up and went to where it was, where I thought it was. It was in the corner of the room and there was nothing there. So I'm freaked out. The bedroom window was right there. We're on a second floor, and I look out the window and listen, and there's nothing out there. There's nobody. I thought maybe there's some kids or something out there would be out there, and there was nothing. And I woke my sister up. She said she didn't hear it. So, but that same house. This is true. All this is true. I told these stories many times. My family, and I'm sure they were exactly like this every time because it's a very vivid memory. One time, me and my boy were playing in the house, same thing. We were like 5, 6, 7 years old. I lived with my grandparents in Grosse Pointe when I was, very young. And I took my sister's doll and ripped the head off of it and stuck it down the clothes chute. On the second floor, you got a clothes chute. You just throw the dirty laundry in there. And it goes down to like a little hamper room downstairs where the washing machine is. And I took the head off it and I popped it off and I threw it down the clothes chute. And then we went down there to the basement to go get it, me and my boy Mikey. And when we got in the basement, I thought, of course it should be in the clothes chute. It's a closed-in door. You got to open it, whatever. Nobody's down there. My grandma's upstairs. Nobody else is. My sister's in the family room. We go down there, open the drawer where the laundry is. It's not in there. And I look at him and go, I said, where the F this thing go? Where'd it go? And we were both just baffled. We're like, how does this thing get out of there? We just ran straight down the stairs. And we're down. And also I hear this. I'm over here. I'm over here. It was a little girl's voice. I'm over here. And when I looked over, the head was under the pool table. Under the pool table, looking at us, looking at us like this. I'm over here. I'm over here. And I was like, wow, I'm gone. we were out of there. And like, dude, I didn't go down the basement for like 4 months. It's crazy, man. Yeah, so but I never had a demon in my life, so no. I gotta answer some of these questions. Shout out to Scotland, bro. Steven Gennaro, what up? The God Tower says, what's up? That's my little Art Thing Apparel model. She's a little OG from the God Toddler, the kids edition. Tony, what's up? Tony, Colorado. Is it spelled the same as Colorado? Colorado. You gotta know that. Has the guy ever been threatened by a fan? I'm going back to all these, make sure I got OG Bigfoot, what's up? Adam B, I'm just checking on everybody who was here, man. I didn't have a chance. Jason Mosca. Okay, I want to go back to these questions. I know you're an author of some novels that haven't had the pleasure of reading yet. Have you wrote any nonfiction on the Detroit family? There's not much out there other than Scott's book. So that was Brian Pitperka. My glasses suck. Pitperka. It's probably Greek, I imagine. No, I'm not that type of writer, dude. I don't write that. I would never write that. I have no inspiration to write that. I'm not motivated by it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big like mafia history buff fan, all that. I mean, just I don't know why. It's weird. I just rather read and learn about other stuff. If I'm going to spend time reading about learning or writing about something like that, like I like science and and history and stuff like that. I'd much rather watch or read or something about history. But fiction to me is way more fun. It's way more interesting. It's not, I'm not boxed in as a writer, but I'm also not boxed in as a reader. Meaning, if you're reading just whether it's true crime or nonfiction, whatever, I don't know, you're boxed into the realm of reality and the type of imagination that I have and the type of person I am. I don't want to be boxed into the realm of reality. I'd rather take me places that, are beyond reality. You know what I'm saying? I love sci-fi. I like sci-fi. It's like a Star Trek type of stuff. Love it. So, all my books are fiction, and that's the reason why they'll be better than anything nonfiction. Every once in a while, there's like a nonfiction story, like let's say, like in the mob world, it might be like Greg Scarpa or Sammy the Bull, but look how they end in reality. In fiction, you can make it so they don't end like that. They end actually really good. Mind-blowing. Like good. So, anyway. By the way, I would like to make something perfectly clear tonight. I'm not a big pot smoker. I'm not a proponent of like mad smoke all day, every day. But sometimes, I had a long day. I'm tired. We worked outside today all day, and it was a nice day. It's the first day of spring. Sun was out. It was like 50 degrees, and that's really nice for where we live, northern Michigan. So we just went outside and I did all this work around the house and fixed all the little things that need to be fixed. Even got a little sunshine. I can see I'm like pink, but it's exhausting, man, because you're kind of sitting around all winter not doing a whole lot, and then all of a sudden you're out there, boom, boom, boom. It was fun riding my motorcycle and my four-wheeler around the yard. I didn't really go anywhere, but still, I can and will once it's a little warmer. It's my custom-made knife that somebody had made for me. Just saying. Damascus steel. My name is carved in it. On the other side. This thing is dope. I'm just saying. I have to be sitting here. So, anyways, partaking in the pot. Yeah, I said hell with it, man. It's been a long day. I'm tired. I got a bunch of weed. People give me weed. A couple of my friends are in the weed business. Shout out to DR Green, the caretaker on the east side, who will deliver to you whenever you need it. DR Green, he's a caretaker. Yeah. So, anyways, and so they give me stuff, and I've been off parole 3 years, going on 3 years, and I can't believe I've been off parole almost 3 years. It's nuts. A lot of stuff in that amount of time, but yeah, I didn't smoke very much weed, but see, that's it right there. I lost it. But I usually don't smoke a whole lot. So I said, this headache, I got a bit of a headache. I'm gonna, it's a long day. I'm gonna tired. I'm gonna boom, boom, boom. So, yeah, that's what I did. Just for the record, I just want to make that perfectly clear, just because you don't think I'm some kind of holier than thou or anti-drug kind of guy. If you need to puff up, give. That's what you need. Hey man, I like your content. I've been a subscriber. This is Mo. Hey man, I like your content. I've been a subscriber for about a month or two. How do you feel about people who cooperate in making YouTube channels and getting praised as if they're like heroes? Mo, here's the thing, Mo. I'm gonna be honest. I can't see. That's a loaded question. I'm friends with people who have cooperated, so I mean, I've been aligned with them as friends or business associates. I'm like, in my point in my life, I'm beyond judging, man. To me, I judge. I'm the hardest judge. Myself, I was the biggest scumbag I could think of. So I didn't cooperate. Maybe somehow that made me feel like I maintain a modicum of honor and dignity about myself, even though I did all this bad stuff. Maybe. But I'm not going to knock the guy's hustles. I don't like Samuel Bull or anybody else, Michael Francis. That's their hustle. And here's the thing. If people are watching their content and they are making money off of people watching their content, then clearly there's a market for their content. It just makes me a little sad that you would think that maybe more people would migrate to my content first or instead of, or just, maybe as an equal, or, because it's just as entertaining. But, I got 4,000 subscribers, and some of these guys got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they got people from all over the world that just worship them, and it doesn't matter, man. They love Goodfellas. Well, Henry Hill was a rat, it's their favorite movie of all. They don't care that he ratted. It's a dope movie. That's how the world works, especially like Eastern Europeans and Asians and all the whole other side of the. Maybe in America not so much, but everywhere else they're like, I don't know that you care, man. That's this guy or that guy. So Johnny Boy says, I stick to drinking. He said weed makes me lazy and paranoid. It doesn't make me either of those, but maybe it did when I was younger a little bit. On the corny prison YouTube channels, acting like a badge of honor. Oh man. I mean, here's the thing. Fnoid, Snoid. 313. See one of these. Listen, If I did a prison channel, would it be corny? I'm saying I like Josh from 23andMe. I think that dude's a G. He's funny as hell. He's the only YouTube show that I actually watch. And it's funny, I don't watch much of it because I don't have time. If I had more time, I'd watch more. But when you post one, I'm like, I watch for a minute because he always says some funny ass stuff. He's just a funny freaking dude. I like him. We're actually friends. I just did his show yesterday. We recorded a show yesterday. I don't know if he had published it yet. He's like, I'm going to try to get it out by tonight, but I haven't even looked to see if he published it tonight. It might be out there. But he's funny, and so I don't know if it's a corny. If I do a, I don't know, Riverdale Edis, what's up? So, I mean, I do the... Weed, Big Boy Blue said, weed isn't drug. It's not alcohol. It's a herb. I'm smoking it right now. It's prescribed and funded by the U.S. government. I hope I read that right. He's like, it's not alcohol. It's a herb. I'm smoking it right now. It's prescribed and fully funded by the U.S. government. Boom. Yeah, Joe Wilkinson said, I hate rats, but I feel you. Bro, listen, if more of the world thought like you, I'd probably have a much bigger channel. You know what I mean? You can say I hate rats, but I feel you. So, does Maria Smoke? Scotty P says, is that Scotty Pellini? Is that you, Scotty Pellini? Just say yes if it is. If it's not, then my boy Scotty Pellini, man, he's been up and down for years. I was in joint with him, in prison with him. Good dude, Italian dude. Maria does not smoke with me, but she on like vacation or something, she will eat a little piece of an edible, which is hilarious. She's funny as a motherfucker. I mean, I've had her laughing so bad where she couldn't even get off the floor and she peed herself, legit peed herself, and she couldn't even stand up. I had her just rolling. We were at that particular time comes to mind. We were in a cabin up in the Upper Peninsula, like way off the grid. Not the off the grid cabin. We were on vacation off the grid, and I said, "Here, eat one of these edibles," that they gave me, and yeah, she was out. Well, oh, thanks. Pnoid said, "No, my video is never glorifying prison." Yeah, no, I don't glorify prison. I think prison is basically it's not it's the anti badge of honor. And as far as I'm concerned, from every angle, prison is like an anti badge of honor. First of all, prison is a protected environment. I say that to people all the time. We like to think they're they're tough because they did prison. I mean, I remember my friend Rick did like 5 years in prison, and like he came home with tattoos. He was all big, and people act like they're scared of him because he went to prison. I'm like, this dude's the biggest bitch I know. Are you kidding me, man? I slapped the shit out of this guy. Wouldn't even. You kidding me? And it was the same. Prison didn't make him any tougher. He was still soft. Prison, most of the time in prison, they're protected, so they think they can be a little cockier. They work out to get a little weight up. They and get back in the streets, smashing you. There ain't no cops showing up. Break it up, break it up. But a taser and a pepper spray or whatever. And all these loss of privileges you don't want to throw away. On the street, man, you start smashing a guy. That's it. It's life or death. He's trying to kill you or you're killing him. That's it. And then you say you're going to go to prison. It's like you think prison makes you a tough guy. That cracks me up. Well, maybe you decide to get out of crime. You keep your mouth shut, and I'm sure you would have been welcomed back in the family. Brian Piperka. I don't know, man. First of all, the people that I work with, yeah, they all died basically right before I went to prison or after I went to prison. But I mean, yeah, I probably could. Guys would accept me and give me work. I had people say that, that there's work waiting. But I wouldn't, dude. Think about it, man. That's the kind of. I mean, that's a good question, but a silly question if you think about it. I love my life. I just was playing on my yard. I fed my chickens, driving my 4-wheeler around the property. I just worked on my house. I had a beautiful little house out on our homestead on 20 acres. Get a YouTube live stream show. None of that life never meant nothing to me, bro. It was only a means of making money, so I didn't have to work like a normal job because I just either hated working or I felt like I was allergic to working. Every time I try to work, man, I'd like get sick or something bad would happen, and so I hustled the streets. That's what I did. Now I have a beautiful, peaceful, tranquil life. That life was stressed 24/7, 7 days a week, always looking over your shoulder. Is that a cop in the mirror back there? What was that noise? Is that noise on the phone? Who's this? What's that? Is that guy mad at me? Or why did I do this or that? Is this coming back to haunt me? Just a million different things all the time, stressing. It was a horrible life, horrible. Now I don't have no stress at all. My life is completely stress-free. I just chill, walking around my house today or my yard today, cleaning up and doing things, hang out with my wife. Yesterday I went fishing, went for a long hike. But back in the day, you ain't doing that, man. You're chasing the next dollar at all times. Just saying, Rails because he lost. Yeah, exactly. Rails said all those years not with his wife. Exactly. Yeah, Joe. There's nothing that makes it worth going back. Nothing. Joe Schuler, what's up? Scotty P said, nope, that ain't him. Real said Larry cooperated, but only after Scarpa's with a rat for 30 years. Yeah, well, Scarpa, I mean, that's different. But Larry really, as far as I know, based on what I know, is he cooperated by helping the U.S. attorney try to burn the dirty feds that were allowing Scarpa to get away with murder, which would have been a huge, huge case for them. So they really sweetened it up, the deal for him, and they did it. And they sweetened the deal for Larry, and he jumped on it, of course, But that's my dude. Pastor Ron, what's up, man? True freedom in Christ. Thank you. Thank you very much, Pastor Ron. So that was very nice of you. Donated a $5 super chat to my channel. Pastor Ron, Christ, we have to, man, there's so much we have to be thankful for. Some days more than other, but today was one of those days where I really looked around and at what I had. My cats are all healthy. My little cat, I thought my cat was gonna die, man. I was brokenhearted. And then one of the cats went missing for a couple of days, and I found her in my neighbor's pole barn, 400 yards away, shacked up with some tomcat in heat. Get over here, man. I'm trying to make more babies. Mikey Pagano. I know a bunch of Paganos, man. Where you from, Mikey Pagano? I know some Paganos. Forgot about him though till just now. Jerome West, like Cranton. I mean Kratom. I think saying. When are books going to be made into a movie? Well, J.R. Wilson said, "When are my books going to be made into movies?" If I had listen, if I knew that for certain, um, then I could borrow $50 million from a bank, right now, because once that goes, that goes. I don't know, but I'm working at it. So there's a couple of things, series of events that need to happen, that are happening actually, and they're happening good and fast. So that will open a door for me to present my content, be it my books and or like taking my YouTube content and converting it into like a TV series, and or my Limboom Chronicles. So between my Limboom Chronicles and my YouTube series about just all the crazy episodes where I'm telling you these crazy ass stories of things that I did or happened to me, I'd have like 100 episodes at least. So if I have 100 episodes, that means I have 10 episode seasons, or 8, 12 episodes. I'm not good at math. Don't judge me. I'm just saying. I'm not good at that kind of math. I used to be pretty good at math, like adding and addition, because I sold drugs. Oh, that's it. OG Bigfoot says, Gunner needs a talk show on XM radio. Oh, man. I would do it, man. If there was money in it, I'd do it. I would do what I'm doing right now in XM radio and have at it. I do a radio show, which, by the way, OG Bigfoot called into my radio show. Thank you, brother, for the support. I have a radio show that's got a kind of a crazy market. It's because it's in Detroit, and it's primarily a black market, which is fine with me. I'm cool with that. I wish more black people would, just open up to me and be like, yeah, I like this guy, and they should. I love like them. So I would but I got like a couple guys like that, and then I got like 2 or 3 drunk guys calling in just on a racial division stuff, and then one woman super angry, not even remember what she said. She was just like, "How dare you?" And they were like, "Eh." But anyways, if they stick around with me long enough at my show, they're gonna find me irresistible, because hey, listen, I'm likable. Hey, my wife says so. Honey. Oh, she's in the shower. Believe me when I tell you, though, she thinks I'm irresistible. My wife. Hey, Gunner. How you doing? Jason Thorne. There's money in it. Like, ask Howard Stern. Oh, yeah, Howard Stern, yeah. But see, Howard Stern is a shock jock, because it's kind of pervert. So I wouldn't be the one having like strippers on to bend over and like blow kisses out of her butt and stuff like that. I'd be like kind of regular dude. I would like to talk to people and hear their stories, their side of life, meaning like the stories that they have affected their lives and have changed their lives for the worse or the better. What was it? What is it that made you, who you are? So, I mean, everybody's got a story. Everybody has a crazy story. Many of them, I'm sure. I'm just, I'm more open with mine, forthright, and I'm kind of good at delivering them and saying them, telling them. That way they may seem interesting, but I think everybody's got these stories like this that they just rewind and go back and go like, hey, oh yeah, that time. And then, and then that time. I think I just have a natural way of saying them. But what's up, Jeremy Williams? 50 mile would be nice. What? 50 mil? Oh, yeah, exactly. 50 mil would be nice. Well, I figure that's what my books are worth. Between my books, if I don't make 50 million off the movies, then I screwed up somewhere along the way, because they will make that money. If they're going to make probably $1 billion at the box office, and then with downloads and DVD and everything else, then I'm confident they'll make that much. If you read my book, you'll say the same thing. If you read both of my books, to the end of both of them, you'd be confident. You're like, yo, you're right. Each one of those books are 500 million easy. So if I get just 1% of those, I'm at 50. I'll get 50. It's $50 million. So let's hope. Mr. Fugazi, you okay? You okay, Gunny, buddy? I hope you're okay and doing well, mate. It must be the UK. Can I be perfectly honest with you, Gunner, mate? I have to break my text up. Sorry, mate. Okay, break it up. You didn't have to apologize for that, though. Yeah, Pastor Ron, we all have stories. I got a question. This is Jeremy Williams. You ever have any favorite prison chef dishes you used to make in jail? Well, okay, yeah, dude. I was, man, it's a good question. I am dude, I ate better than anyone. I hate to say it like that because it makes me sound kind of douchey, like I was better than anyone, but I ate better than pretty much everybody. And the reason that was because my wife and or my boys or whatever sent me money and helped me. So I'd find a kitchen connection that could get me burger, cheese, meat, yada, yada, yada. And towards the end, the meat turned into like this pink slime soy meat crap. I didn't even want that. It was garbage. It's horrible. I couldn't even eat it. Cheese. I stopped eating all the cheese too because it was like messing with my stomach. I developed lactose sensitivity. But I did get eggs. In the end, I would get a dozen eggs every day. This black dude would sneak me out a dozen eggs every day, and I'd have my girl send $25 to his account, $25 to his account, and he'd bring them to me like clockwork, man, which is awesome. I could eat them, make scrambles with them in the microwave, or just boil them most of the time. But my favorite dishes, I used to make a lasagna and a chicken marinara. I mean, so the lasagna was this. So you get those cup of noodles, the cheese ones though, right? Cup of noodle cheese ones. And you get a couple of the noodle and you lay some on the bottom. And then where would I get my cheese though? Like my ricotta cheese. I don't know. Well, I guess I'd probably use provolone and cheddar, but so you just take those noodles and then you put some of this pasta sauce. They sold them in bags, packages. These are bags of pasta sauce, and then I doctor it up. I'd add a little garlic because you can buy garlic seasoning, and I add a little sweet sugar in there to make it more like Sicilian. And then I do layers, and sometimes I do chicken. Get the chicken from the Secure Pack, and I layer it up. The pasta sauce, bacon. I just different. That's different like recipes, but a lot of times I put bacon and layer it up. Pasta sauce, bacon, meat, noodles, pasta sauce, meat, and put it in a bowl, and then cheese too. Shred up because you can buy blocks of provolone and cheddar cheese shred up. And anyways, then you put it in the microwave and you cook it like a lasagna. And you cook it like 15 minutes, so it's like a casserole. And when it's done, it's all cheeses like burned along the edge, and you just eat it like lasagna. And that was one of my favorite. Or chicken marinara, where I get the chicken from the chow hall. I'd always buy like 6 of them, and I just debone a couple of them, add the pasta sauce, little sugar, little seasoning, and then cook them in the microwave and have pasta with it with the same thing with the cup of soup noodles. So that was one of my favorite ones. And then pizza pockets. I was really good at pizza pockets. Take a tortilla wrap, smear it with pizza sauce, and then put you need cheese in there, pepperonis, ham, anything you put in a pizza. Bacon, if you had bacon. You could get bacon. I used to buy bacon, like 5 little thin strips were like $3.50. It's crazy. 5 little tiny thin strips. But it was so good. Anyways, yeah, so then you fold them together, and then like the pasta sauce acts like glue. So you make a little pocket, and you put it in the toaster, and you cook them in the toaster, and they pop out like these hot pizza shells, man. Oh, they were good, man. Those were really good, dude. I love doing those. Gunner, if I felt, all right, here we go. Fugazi, Mr. Fugazi. Gunner, if I ever get racist abuse, it only ever comes from people, not all people, because I'd be a liar if I said it was all people, but I really don't understand why. I don't know if you've been drinking or just been typing a little fast, but it's hard to, yeah, I don't understand why either. If I get racist abuse, who's getting racist abuse? You getting racial abuse, Mr. Fugazi? Or do you know somebody? I read it more than once, brother. I was in the acknowledgments of the first edition. It's me. Oh, Jedediah. Oh, it's Jedediah Wilson. Yes. I didn't know that. Jedediah, I think Jedediah, yeah, didn't I meet you at my book signing at Racing Bar Detroit? But yes, this gentleman here was a support before I published my book, and I gave him an honorable mention in the first edition of my book. Jedediah Wilson. Very cool guy. Been with me from the jump, from as soon as I published my book. And that was like 4 years ago. I think the Montreal family was originally a part of the Bonanno family. I am not sure about that, but you might be right. But that family kind of spawned into itself, and believe me, I mean, Bonanos might have had some influence over that family, but probably not. That was a pretty big, well-oiled, violent, and not to be effed with family. Montreal family. Is that the same? Yeah, that's the same family as Toronto, I think so. But yeah, in Montreal, it was no joke. Hunter, what up? Hunter, I recorded with 23andMe. I don't know if you have you seen it? Has he published it yet? All right, Nicholas Greenwood's got a question. My master questioner. Let's see what he says. Al, is there ever a guy you ran across and thought I wouldn't fight that guy? Oh man, in the street or in prison? I in prison, I looked at there were some giant dudes, like just really big, like slave bred, big, freaking genetically huge dudes, and like black dudes, and I'm like, I wouldn't want to fight that dude. And they were big, they were like 350 and not fat, and if they held themselves, and they were older guys too. A lot of the older guys knew how to fight. It's the younger guys who don't. The younger guys grew up shooting each other, and what I'm saying, that's why all in prison. The older dudes though were some G's, some gangsters. There was this one black dude I hung around with, and his name was Big Herc, huge dude, huge monster of a freaking. Genetic freak. Before he went to prison, he was like doing bodybuilding shows. He was already huge. So then he went to prison and basically stayed the same for the next 35 years. But I was friends with him, and they're real cool. I found out just recently that he was a man. Dude was a G in the street, like a killer and like a badass. I would have never thought that. I would have never thought that. He was just, to me, he's just Big Hurt. Soft spoken, kind of really chill, laid back, quiet, very embracing of me. Loved to work out with me. As soon as I rode into this new joint, he saw I was a big muscle head, and he's like, "Come on, bro, man, you gonna work out?" I was the biggest freaking guy. This is the biggest guy in the whole prison system. And he's like, let's do this. Because you can see, my heart was in it. And so training with him was so freaking hard. He'd always hand me weight that was way too heavy for me. Like, he'd give me this 140-pound dumbbell to do triceps. He'd go, take it. I'm like, bro, that's what you're doing, bro. I can't do 140s, man. Like, maybe 100s, 110s, but no. He's nope, you're taking that. But he helped me do it. But anyways, he was a guy. In the street, though, I honestly can say Jerry Gadet was a guy I would never wanted to fight, but I was friends with him. So, in the back of my mind, guys like Larry Klein, I wouldn't want to fight. Constantino Buongiorno, in a death match, would I win in a fight against them? Probably, but it's not a firm, yeah, for sure. So, if you don't want to fight a guy that like the odds are starting to wane and go towards him, you know what I'm saying? Those guys are badasses. Jerry Gadet, I don't think I could take him out. He's just too big and strong, and he knows how to use it. I seen him. He's a kickboxer. I seen him kick a guy in the face, and he's a little short guy too. He's only like 5'6". I seen him kick a guy in the face. It was like a Mario Brothers video game or something. They kicked the guy off the ground. And by the way, we were surrounded. There's 5 of them and 2 of us. He's like, "Who's first?" to them, and he pushes me back. Look out! I got this. I said, "What?" I think he goes wham and just kicks this dude in the face, and he's like, "Who's next?" He's like, and they're like, "No, not me." But other than that, I don't know, man. I'd be lying if I told you this, that I wasn't terrified every time I got in a fight. 100%. Every fight. To me, every single fight is life or death. I feel like they are going to kill me, and that's why when I flip the switch, I'm just full aggression. I just come in with full speed, full aggression. Wham, wham, wham. Just nothing. I'm trying to kill you. And until you're out, rolling on the ground, eyes rolling, I'm not stopping. So that's just kind of how I fight. It's always been. It's how I don't want to get hurt. And I'm not going to wait for someone to hurt me. So that's all I'm saying. DZ, what's up? Milwaukee in the house. Milwaukee, man. See, Milwaukee's another place that had a big mafia president sometime. Thank you, DZ, for the super chat. I love it. I love that people are that kind and that generous, and they're just like, yo, man, like this guy. I want to support his channel. Help him get paid. Bang his $10. Because it adds up to me, for me, and it's not a ton of money, but it does, help me pay the bills. It's my income. So, and you can look, it's at 1898 right now. So I'm not killing it, but still, it makes me feel like all this that I'm doing with the writing and the creating of content and everything else is actually helping me earn a living. So, thank you. Let me get back to Nicholas Greenwood. He's got the good question. Mr. Guys, it does offend me as my grandsons are British Muslims. My daughter are married her children's childhood sweetheart. He's a beautiful person. I wish we could all live together. Yeah, I wish we could too, buddy. Al Nicholas says, Al, do you know much about the St. Louis family? I do not. That is Giacomo Palazzolo, Yo Gunner, he says. Giacomo Palazzolo, just for the I'm just asking, is that your real name? Or is that just like a handle? Because I'm a Palazzolo through my great-grandmother here in Detroit. And I just wondered, if the big family, there's a ton of, I think my grandmother had 5 brothers. And so all those 5 brothers, they had all, 1,000 grandkids, whatever it was. And you could be one of them. So, I mean, I have a cousin, Dominic Palazzolo. He's like one of the few I actually know. I don't know about the St. Louis family. That is Scott's, again, Nicholas, just to answer your question, that is Scott's realm of expertise. He wouldn't say he's an expert, but he would tell you he knows a lot more than me because I don't know nothing. And I do know I did have family there. My grandfather came to America. He went to St. Louis. He had family in St. Louis. There was a bunch of Tocos in St. Louis. It was kind of an interchangeable thing. The Tocos family and the St. Louis family was really, all together. What the hell, man? Text come through. You're live. What is going on, man? The Montreal family was part of the Bananas for years, but eventually went on their own. Okay, see, I didn't know that. Real said, yeah, learn something new every day. My real name, my mother moved us from Detroit to Philly a few years ago. Huh. Well, do you ever do genealogy or do any? I'm doing my DNA right now, by the way, doing it right now. If you ever do genealogy, look at our family tree. My great-grandmother was Piatra Palazzolo. Piatra. So if I wonder if you look in your family tree, it'd be interesting if you see, because now that would be her nephew that just recently passed away in Detroit, who was formerly allegedly the consigliere of the Detroit family. You ever been in a powerhouse gym on Woodward? Yeah, of course, man. Pinoid. Yeah, powerhouse gym, Linda Murray gym. Sure, I met Linda Murray in the powerhouse gym on Woodward. Excuse me. No, I met her in the one on Centerline, but I've been to Woodward one too. Yeah. Yeah, they train like barbarians in that mug. Yeah, it's a barbarian gym. Dude, you don't even know. I trained at a gym when I was living in Harlem. It was like a YMCA in the top of like some building, and it was the size of a bedroom, maybe a little bigger, and it was just all this weights in there, and this huge black dude, huge, super black, and then like his 2 homeboys were hanging out, and I'm like, yeah, how much is it to work out here? And they're like, it's free, man. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went and worked out. It was really hot, it's crazy, but it was the gym, and then they were getting it in. That's all that mattered to me. We spoke before. This is Mr. Fugazi saying, we spoke before, Gunner, buddy. I researched the mob in America for 43 years now, buddy, and Detroit had some very big fish back in the day, brother. Yeah, some big fish. And there's still some big fish in there in the waters. Giacomo says he's going to look and see if we're cousins. It's kind of crazy. Told me you were related to Toko. Is it your uncle or yours? No, my grandfather was Peter Paul Toko. My mother was Grace Carmela Toko. And a lot of people have heard of Carmela Foods and stuff. Well, actually, her aunt would be a Carmela. And anyways, so that's who. My uncle was Salvatore Toko, and my uncle was Pete. My Uncle Pete was the one uncle I was pretty much doing bad with. He was my boss. Hey man, I just got out of the shower and I thought you said something about St. Louis. I'm curious, are there big mob ties in St. Louis? That's Jeremy Williams is asking that. Yeah, St. Louis used to be a big mafia family, but it was controlled by Detroit. So basically, Detroit was the overlords of the St. Louis family. They are the one calling the shots, like putting the boss in position, putting the underboss in position, doing this, that. It was very interconnected. This is all what Scott's told me, and he gave me the names and told me how they did and whatever. So I think a lot of that has fallen off over the years, but I would not be surprised if there's still there's a lot of Italians in St. Louis, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a family that still exists, even the shell of a family, or some crews running numbers and God knows what. So I'm sure it's a big city. It makes perfect sense. And you get anywhere in a big city with a lot of Italians, there's going to be somebody's going to set up shop. Somebody's going to do something. Yeah, I mean, I could. If let's say there wasn't, I could go down there right now and set up shop. Especially I got $100,000, which is not that hard to get when you're in the mob. And give me $100,000, I'll pay you guys back for 3 months. But after 3 months, I'm clocking. I got to put it all on the streets, betting, sports betting, and loan sharking, and you don't really got to do nothing. You can make a couple $100,000 a year just off the vig. So, not to mention, there's a million other things you can be doing. A million other things. Johnny Boy says Chicago ran most of the families out west. All I know is when it comes to west that Cleveland had a large powerful presence in Los Angeles, and a lot of those Cleveland guys were rejects from Detroit, where they kind of was like guys that Detroit maybe didn't want around or were having trouble with, and they'd send them to Cleveland, and then Cleveland would end up sending them out to that's why I get on this book. Where'd my book go? This book is actually so good, man. I'm telling you. I was saying about this by my writer, by the way. I want to get back to that. This guy was smart, man. He made a conscious choice. He made a very strategic move. He said, I'm gonna get in with Gunner, and because I believe that he is going to go places, and if I give him half the movie rights to this book, eventually he's going to get it made. So totally smart move for him, to get me to be able to help him write the script and use my energy and my drive to get us a movie deal for this book. So that's a pretty good, smart, strategic move. Kudos to you, Dave, my student. Man, maybe the student has become the teacher, huh? Mr. Fugazi. The football team is called Arsenal, and they are the Gunners, the biggest boys in America, in my opinion. Gunner was the Outfit Boys, Arcado and Rico. Yeah. Arcado was the football team is called Arsenal. Arcado was the boss in America. In my opinion, Gunner was the Outfit Boys, Arcado. Yeah, you might be right. The biggest boys, he said the biggest boys in his opinion is Arcado. I don't know. I mean, I could make that argument for Jack Tocco. The guy made hundreds of millions of dollars and ran a tight ship. Everybody had to. I mean, he beat the Rico. Everybody had to have a business degree. He set up everybody in the family, and then he died at like freaking 89 years old. After only serving 1 year in prison or a year and a half in prison. It's hard to beat that. I mean, I don't know. Cato might be able to. I don't know. Troubleism 78. Troubleisms. I can make a whole line of words. Troubleism. That's troubleism. Let's create some troubleisms. Oh, dude, I'm coming up with them. Trust me. Tony Arcado. Yeah. Do you know any highwaymen, MCs? Yeah, I knew some highwaymen. Bigfoot. OG Bigfoot asked me if I knew some highwaymen. I knew some. Yeah. Benny Conforto was one of them. Dago, he's an Italian dude. He's the owner of World's Gym. He didn't like me. He didn't like me because he had a couple reasons not to like me. This is a funny story. Might as well tell it. When I moved back from New York, they had opened this new World's Gym, and some of my boys had already gone over there. And I don't know what it's. I keep getting this strange text. Strange. And so I came back and I walked in. I heard the place was owned by a wise guy. This World's Gym. Not sure who, what. Just owned by a wise guy. They said his name, but it didn't ring any bells to me. I mean, it's this Italian dude, and there's a million of them. But I'm only 21 years old. So it's not like I know the whole family. I only owe a fraction of the family. I only know of like 10 guys that are in the mafia at like 19. When in fact there's like 50 serious mob players and then like 500 more associates. 500. And you're never gonna know them all. But there was a lot of guys like me would be. There were a lot of guys that, maybe a capo had a crew, one guy who ran a crew, and that crew maybe 10 guys. So together, this one little wing was like 12 people, but there might have been like 10 of these wings. All bookies, all drugs, all loaning, all robberies, all everything. Everybody had crews that were just like boom, 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 handled every bit of racket. And then this guy had a crew, boom, 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 and usually in territories even, so you don't overlap, but there's so many people and so much money, didn't even matter, man. There'd be freaking 5 different crews in Macomb County working. But yeah, I didn't know that many. Let's see, gotta get these. Oh, forgot, even Giacalone brothers are quite big fish as well, man. Oh yeah, Giacalone brothers were as big as they get. I mean, that's what I was getting at. Like, the family you had, there was like 10 guys that I knew at the top of the food chain. I knew all of them because of my grandpa and my uncle. The rest of the guys were all just, who knows. I never ran into any cartel connects, but I may have known some, but I can't say for sure. But my 8th novel, which would probably be the next novel I release after my next novel, the political thriller that I'm working on now, I'm going to release next. The next book after that will be Snowman Chronicles, and it's about how a Colombian cartel cat hooks up with a mob guy, and they end up just crazy, just selling crazy dope, crazy. But I mean, basically, the mob becomes a distribution network for a Colombian cartel, like one of the biggest Colombian cartels, and two guys in the middle doing it all. Wasn't one of the Giacalone brothers in a car with Tony Pro when he met Hoffa? Tony Giacalone was the one with Provenzano the day Hoffa went missing. He must have big have Hoffa that day. Tony was, nobody knows what happened that day, but Tony lost his tail. No, Tony made sure the feds followed him so his brother and Tony Pro could go scoop up Hoffa. The 4 guys who weren't accounted for that day at the time, they all had Fed tails. They all were being tailed by the Fed. So 4 guys shook the tails. Well, those 4 guys, you can be pretty guaranteed that they're the ones who did it. That's all I'm saying. Scott knows who it is. Johnny Boy said dinner time. So, what was I saying? Yeah. Anyways, you get in a position, and you're a low man on a totem pole. You're not going to be knowing like all these other big shots around you. But I'm super sore. So, what else did I want to talk about tonight? Asians. That's what it was. Well, there was a question. Somebody asked me a question. It was bugging me. I'm trying to remember what it was. You can remember me. I don't know, but I think it's insane that there's some kind of blowback about Asians now. Asian racism. What is it? Now we're racist because somebody shots up like a nail salon or something. I mean, how about maybe it was just a really crappy nail salon? I'm not a massage parlor. Sounds like a really a massage parlor. Sounds really above water or what was going on in there. Maybe they weren't paying up. Maybe the mob dudes in that town were just like, yo, you want to give happy endings, okay, but you're gonna pay us freaking $1,000 a week or else. And they're like, oh, me no pay you, me no pay you, me no pay you. Okay, well, we won't pay you then. I don't know the particulars, but I know there's a big blowback about Asians and Tony Pro was in New Jersey that day. His crew whacked out Hoffa. Whose crew? Tony Jack's crew? Rub and tug. OG. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to get back to, was the whole reason that the highwayman, Benny Conforto, didn't like me was because when I went in there to get my membership after being in New York for a couple years, I said, so he ends up hooking me up with I think he gave me a year membership. Might have been 6 months. I can't remember. And it was cool. So it hooks me up, and I bring my boys, start training there. And then at some point, the dude, this guy named Chuck, who's a funny guy, you might see this. I think he's on my YouTube. He's this like super handsome dude who looks like Eric Estrada. He looks like Eric Estrada, but in a more buff, bigger, more handsome way. It's funny. And he looks exactly the way he looked 25 years ago, too. I seen him not that long ago at the Italian Festival. And he's a really nice guy. Actually, I went into his car dealership. He sells Cadillacs, and he's this really nice guy. I always thought he was a douchebag years ago because he was one of those guys who's like so good looking. And was like, I'm sure he's a douchebag. You know what I'm saying? Probably just, I'm saying? Guys who look like him, they're usually douchebags. And so I was a dick to him. I was never real nice to him. He was huge. He was on the cover of a magazine, too. Had a great build. Great build. And put him on a magazine cover. I'm just like, I walk in. I wouldn't even say nothing. I just look at him and nod and just walk on by. So finally he says, hey, man, your membership's up. Like I signed in or whatever. He's like, your membership's up. I'm like, what? No. He's like, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, talk to Benny. So I go. Benny was a highwayman, by the way. He was a highwayman. That's where I'm getting at. And I said, talk to Benny. So he wouldn't say nothing. I come in like 4 or 5 times a week to the gym. And then, a week go by, he'd say something. He's like, man, your membership's up. I talked to Benny. So I proceeded to do that for like the next 3 years. 3 years. I mean, just every time he'd say that, about once every couple of months, he'd be like, your membership's up. Yeah, I'm like, talk to Benny, bro. I tell Benny to take care of it. And he'd just be like, One day I puked on the ground. I puked right in the lobby because I was doing legs. I was going so heavy. I was doing legs, pushing so hard. Obviously, I'd eaten too close to my workout or something. And I was doing some heavy squats. And I knew I was going to puke. But the bathrooms are way at the very front by the front desk. And I'm almost running to the gym because I know it's coming. And then right when I get to the desk, like an island in the lobby. And he was facing me, this dude Chuck. And I'm looking dead at him. I'm like, splat. Puke all over the place. And he's like, the kid that works there, this kid who works in a scooter, he's like, he tells me, man, get that cleaned up. I said, nah, man, you got to clean up my puke. I'll clean it, man. Bring me the mop. I said, I'll clean my own puke. And anyways, so Benny was afraid to ask me for me to pay his membership dues because he thought I was a lunatic. He basically asked around. I know he asked around because a couple people asked me. They're like, Benny Conforto was asking about him. How do you know? Because I was here and he came over and said, this guy, Alonzo. And they're like, yeah, that's who he is. What's his deal? And I told them, and so I know this because not long after this, there was this kid in the gym. These 2 girls show up, and they're friends of mine. I only know the one, like from meeting her once or twice, but she's with this other girl who's kind of like a surrogate sister to me. This really nice girl named Melissa, who's like a sister to me, and so they see me in the gym. And I'm talking to them, kind of flirting around with them a little bit. The one's like a sister. I'm not really like a sister. The other one's like a really good looking brunette chick. Kind of flirting with her. Her ex-boyfriend shows up and they start arguing and blah, blah, blah. And and then I come over and I'm like, what was that all about? And she's like, he freaking said I shouldn't be talking to you. Like, you're his brother's arch nemesis. I said, who's he? And he tells me who he is. I'm like, here we go. It's my brother's arch nemesis. It's a long story. There was a girl. I got into it with a dude over it, and we came beefed out. We're cool today. We're real good friends, so it's over. But at the time, and so I walked over to the kid and I said, "Hey man, listen, leave this girl alone." I said, "I'll beat your ass." He's like, "Oh, you beat my ass? I'll tell my brother." I'm like, "Better ask your brother. You better tell your brother. I don't give a f. I'll beat your ass, and ain't nobody's gonna stop that." So you want to argue with her and fight with this girl, and then, meanwhile, I'm telling him I'm gonna beat his ass. Actually, I take him outside. I said, "Come here, man. Let me talk to you, bro." Because he was talking crazy to this girl right in the gym, like yelling at her, man. Like, just like talking crazy to this chick in the gym. Finally, I walked up and said, "Hey, man, listen, you're talking to a woman, bro. Calm down. You want to yell, talk crazy, whatever. You put your hands on this girl. You're talking like you're going to do something to her. You put your hands on this girl, I'll beat your mother effing ass. You know, we're talking to a woman, my brother is. F you and your brother, man. Get that. I'll go wait." And it ended up getting like that. Like, I actually freaking had to punk him out a couple days later, right after this. And I said, "Come on, man, let's go outside." And he come outside like a man. I said, "Bro, you put your hands on that girl, I'll beat your brains out, bro, flat out." And he said, "All right." So he leaves right there. He walks away and like goes tell his brother. And well, the kid who works there, Scooter, heard me telling him, "I'm beat your mother up and ad." So he goes and tells the owner that who haven't paid for a membership in like 4 years there, by the way, and he's kind of scared. So it tells this freaking owner of the gym that I was threatening to smash somebody's head in. And he already thinks I'm a lunatic. He's been asking around. People told him I'm a lunatic. I act like a lunatic basically at all times. I would used to smoke a joint, walk right up. This is a huge gym, huge freaking humongous world gym that's beautiful. And at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, there's like 200 people in it. I would smoke a joint and walk right up to the door. Smoking and it's crazy. The aerobics room there and this room over there. I'm like, "What's up, fellas? I'm here to look out." So, anyways, Benny comes downstairs to yell at me, right? This big fat Italian dude, and he says, "Come here, Al, come here." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "What the f is wrong with you? You can't be in my gym talking, threatening to beat up people." And then I went like this. I was like, and I flinched him. I said, "Man, what the f you talking about, Benny?" I right in his face too. I'm like, "What the f you talking about, man?" When I flinch him. He flinches so hard that his phone, which is sitting inside of his breast pocket, like this, he's got like a button-up polo shirt with a pocket. And I'm like, "Man, what the fuck you talking about, man? Talking to me crazy?" And he flinches, and the phone like literally flips out of his pocket, like almost over his shoulder, falls down, bang, and breaks all over the floor. And I'm not done. I said, "Man, what the fuck you talking about, man? Some mother effer was talking about beating a woman's ass in your gym." And I took his ass outside like a man and told him, "Not here, not ever, not in front of me. You ain't gonna put your hands on a woman." And then he was all apologetic. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know that's what." I said, "Yeah, you little bitch ass cleaning boy gonna tell you what happened. I'm telling you what happened. You gotta want to know the truth. That's what happened." And punk ass, I should go beat his ass. That's what I said to him. I said, "Man, I should go over to slap the shit out of him for ratting me out." And he's like, "No, don't do it. He's a good kid. He's a good kid." I'm like, "Good kid? He's worthless kid. He's a rotten kid. He's good for nothing. He works in your business. He's a little scumbag rat." You know what I'm saying? Just slap the kid out of here. Anyways, Dino Lombardo. What's up? Almost missed this show. Thank you, Dino. Just hit me with another $40 super chat. And that's a very supportive and good friend. And I love that guy because he's very generous, very supportive. And I try to reciprocate. I just sent him a cool shirt, one of my favorite art shirts, and I'm gonna send him another one. That's what I'm gonna do. He made me the clock. I should have put the clock up behind me today. That's a good idea. Next time if I do it in here, I'll take that picture down, and put the clock up. He made the best clock. He made the. I keep getting this weird text. I don't know who it is. I can't. It's saying shut the f up. It's bizarre. He made a custom-made clock, the one I got upstairs in my office, and it's dope. I wonder though, Dino, do you make clocks on demand? Do you? By the way, Dino, I know you sent me an email, right? And I thought I answered you via text. I can't remember, but he was asking about beanies. Beanies. He wants to have Providence, our thing. We got like my hat is Detroit, our thing. Well, he wants Providence, our thing. It's from Providence. And all you got to do is go on, when you order the beanie, there's a thing where in the notes, and it just says pick your city. So if you click a city and it doesn't have Providence, then put it in the notes, because you put it in the notes. So let's put Providence City, Providence, and I'll get it, and I'll make sure you get what you got coming. So I got you, and thank you again, man. I should just send you a hat for that, which I can do. I just prefer the orders go through the website because that way I don't screw them up. I don't forget about them. I don't, trying to manage like orders for friends and all these people at once while I'm managing 12 other things and trying to write a book and make content. What'll happen is either I'll forget to send it or I'll forget to send the address. And my printer will be waiting on the address, and a month will go by, and then you'll be like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I'll have the printer," and she'll be like, "Oh, you never gave me the address." And I'm like, "Boom." That's what happened. Is this live? Yes, this is live. Jess the barber. So soon, Dino is saying soon you'll be making like custom clocks. That's dope. What would a custom clock cost to make the clock that you made for me? What would that cost for an individual to make? Just so we know. With you making money. Just the barber. Pnoid said, Pnoid. Pnoid. It's a silent P, man. It's a silent P, so calm down, Gunner. It's Noid. You should. Maria's laughing at me. So you should do a gangster movie reviews. Francine does, but he's lame. You would be funny. Oh, that's a good idea, man. Oh man, I should do that. I mean, I think Sammy does it too. Now everybody's dating. Dude, I would like to go off in some gangster movies. First of all,
the worst movie ever.
Yeah. I'm gonna start off with this. Now, a lot of people aren't gonna like hearing this. That is because it's for some. Larry likes this movie too. I don't know, but to me, the worst movie that I've ever seen in my life. It's just my opinion. Now everybody's got their own opinions. You may think this. I got a couple friends of mine who think this is the greatest movie in the world. What was it? Any given day in America or something like that? What's the name of it?
I forget what it was called.
You guys know who it is. What movie? It's called Any Given Day in America or Any Given.
Robert De Niro.
It's got Robert De Niro in it. I think Pesci's in it too. I think De Niro's in it. It's real early, weird mob movie with a couple rape scenes. Super dumb. No real plot. Like there's this rape scenes in it. It's like creepy as hell. I hated it. Whoa. My boy George Kayas. I can't get it right, man. The Greeks. It's got the Greeks, man. They always throw in the tongue twisting weird names, man. Kayas. Thank you, bro. What's up, my man? He said George hit me up with a super chat. Thank you, brother. I'm basically. Funny. I plan these shows out. Not really planning them, like seriously plan them, but I'm thinking. I do not remember. My short term memory is. I don't want to say it, but I'm just saying, like I forgot about the whole super chat element of a live stream. The super chat, people give money. Wasn't always people give money, and I'm grateful for it every time. But I just forgot that's part of doing super chat until somebody gives one. It's not my plan. That's what I'm saying. I never sit down and plan to make much money. I plan to sit here and just kind of kick it, and make you laugh, and tell a couple stories, keep you entertained. Actually, it's cathartic to me, believe it or not. I look forward to doing this. I look forward to just talking to my market and getting to know them and being with them rather than just posting like sterile videos or whatever or stories. So, anyways. Once Upon a Time in America. Yeah, Giant Boy. That's a horrible movie. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. If you think that movie is good, please tell me one thing that was good about it. Please tell me one thing. Because what was the plot? What was the theme? The characters weren't even that great. There was nothing that interesting. There was no resolution to the story. And there was 2 rape scenes that were really weird. Like, we're in the middle of robbing everybody, but this chick right here, you bend over and I'm going to rape you. And then you're going to fall in love with me for it. And we're going to run off. Like, that kind of sick, weirdo cranks. It's crazy. Big Boy Blue, did you want to be known back in the day as being Italian? I don't think it was something that, everybody knew me as Italian. Everybody did. A few people who didn't know me may have heard my last name and didn't know, but everybody knew I was Italian. Everybody knew that Otoko on my mother's side. Everybody, because I lived within them for years, and then when I moved to my new town, a few years, didn't take long for people to find out. No, but I was raised in an Italian house by my Italian mother and grandparents. That's all I'd ever known. I never knew my dad's family. I only lived with my dad from 0 to 4, and then back to him at like 15. So maybe 14, 15, whatever it was. And then, yeah, everybody knew. Let me see. Donnie Brasco, one of my favorite mob movies. It's a good movie. I just don't like, I had a hard time watching Donnie Brasco, and I still do, because I just hate the idea of what it is, what it means. I don't like it, never liked it. The idea of this, like a cop becoming so good at what he's doing that he can infiltrate a crew. And, there's guys like, I always wondered, guys like that were around me, man. I'm like, is this mother effer a cop, or is he a rat? Is he talking? I hated guys like that. Not saying I knew any, but I could have. I did know one guy, man. In fact, I did a show about him a little while back, and he was. I'm trying to name the show. I'm trying to think of the show. Anyway, it's a good show where I knew real good. Turned out he was rat. He turned out he was a rat, and then when I found that out, like I actually still liked him enough to say, dude, get the F out of here, because they're coming to kill you. And he didn't argue it or nothing. He's just like, all right, and he got up and left. Now, if I was the people, like people wanted me to kill him. People were going to kill him. Not even if what they were they had already planned it out. They were coming to kill him, and I told the dude, get the F out of here and never be seen again, because they're going to kill you. And he did. And then he ended up in prison in Florida or something. And then that's the last I ever heard of him. My favorite mob movie. So Mr. Fugazi said my favorite mob movies were Casino and Raging Bull. That's my favorite films about the mob. Godfather 1 and 2 are my favorite. Was the uncle you work for straightened out in the parking partnership? I was just talking about that today with somebody. I mean, I don't know, because when I went away, he was 44 years old, and over the next several years, he got deeper into the family, and so I imagine at some point he did. But I was in prison. And the people I've asked, nobody can confirm it for sure. If I could find his boy, Artie, he would know. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I went away when I was 29. My uncle was 41, I think. And so at some point, he ended up in prison for 12 years himself. So I don't know. But it didn't matter, because he was a Toko, and everybody around us was straightened out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that he saw, knew, or talked to was. So he probably would have had to. They'd like to be a little older in Detroit. They're not going to make a guy when he's 40 years old. I mean, he might make a couple young guys here and there. I think Carlos was made when he was like 35. But Goodfellas, Bronx Tale, yeah, it's good ones. Goodfellas and Bronx Tale are like my probably 2 and 3 after Godfather 2. And then Godfather 1, and yeah, Reals, Godfather 1 and Goodfellas are the best ever for sure. Well, Godfather 2 is good too, man. Grind and Shine Recovery, what's up? Did the missus go to college? If so, where do you go? Would you have gone to college? I did go to college. My Nicholas Greenwood, my other adopted son, who I think's a lot like my other adopted son, Hunter, who was here listening a minute ago, asked my wife if she went to college. Honey, could you warm me up some chicken wings and give me some ghost chili pepper sauce?
Yes, of course.
I'm gonna need some ghost chili sauce on it, right on this phone. Why?
For about a year to Macomb, that was it.
So my wife said that she went to Macomb for about a year. I went to Macomb for about 2 years. I went to Macomb for 2 years part time. Got about a year's worth of credits, and then I went to prison. And when I was in prison, I got a scholarship, which actually helped me get out of prison. I got lucky, and so I went another like 2.5, 3 years. I'm really close to an associate's degree. Like I might even have enough for an associate's degree.
Do you want to heat up the microwave or the oven?
Whatever you want, right?
I mean, do you want
Yeah, microwave is fine.
Okay.
So I have, but My wife, no, but my wife is super intelligent, and we've had such a parallel life. And here we both have gone to junior college for a little while. My wife's an executive. She makes, an executive salary, and she's super smart. She's worked for MIT and Gale and ProQuest, and she works for a Wall Street analytics company now. So I mean, she's super smart, but no college really, just a year in community college. Me too.
Working my ass off.
Somebody just asked how's her carnivore diet going? How's her carnivore diet going, honey?
It's good. It's going great. I had a salad yesterday, and I've been eating eggs, but the eggs I think are causing me to feel. I feel bloated, and I feel.
Stop eating eggs. You're allergic to them. She knows she's allergic to eggs. She just said, "You gotta stop. You gotta stop."
Other than that's great.
Mr. Rails, that could be debated all night, mate. As the West Mob films, I don't realize. I'm just reading. I don't really rate The Godfather. And did you know that Pacino was ordered in the film by Chicago Hood? Ordered. Not sure what that means. George Calles. Huh? Calles! I know. I'm sorry, George. Please forgive me, man. Thank you, man. That's about all the mouthfuls names that all are worth mentioning. Right. I know there's not a lot of good mob movies, man. I'm telling you, that's why the world is hungry for my books. Anyone, and by the way, real quickly, is everybody I supposed to have sent swag to sold? If you were expecting a book, if you were expecting a shirt, if you were expecting...
Did you get George's out? He was the one missing one. George Caius.
What do you mean he's one? George, you got yours, right? Yours with the cool freaking camouflage? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't say...
You said last time he didn't get his book, though.
I
thought we owed him a book.
I owe you a book, George? I mean, no, man. What Wes? Jess the Barber. I like Jess the Barber. He's a youth pastor kid who he's got like a youth barber. He's a barber, but he talks to kids, mentors kids as a barber, and goes to the church, and that's pretty freaking cool. So what's up? We're gonna do the mob movie reviews. Sure, man. You want to help? He then asked the same question: was my Uncle Pete ever made? I don't know if he was ever made. I can't say for sure. I don't want to get him in trouble. I got somebody else in trouble already. I thought my cousin Chris was made, and then when the guy asked me if he was, I said I didn't say no. So and then they reported it in this Gangsters Inc. article, and then the boss, not the boss, but the underboss, or not underboss, excuse me, the consigliere, heard that I had said that and called him and like, "What's up, big? You're a made guy now?" And that all made it back to me in like a day. Not me though. You're talking about my cousin Chris. Scott heard that through the grapevine. I gotta go see my cousin Chris next time I'm in Detroit. I gotta see him. I didn't say that. The writer just took liberties.
That's what writers do. I
know. The dude took liberties. I didn't tell him that. I just said my cousin Chris. I saw him at the Italian festival, and he said the family's proud of you, and you'd be proud that you're a Toco. You always be a Toco. And I said, thank you, man. It's about the mob films. So I'm not. Untouchables, De Niro, and Chris Capone.
I mean, you want to eat these on camera? I don't think that's a good idea. Is Larry
So, George, I feel George, wait. What did you not get? Are you waiting on the book, or did you get the shirt? I know for sure I sent the shirt. Please, tell me if I sent the shirt, but
I thought we owed him a book.
I owe you a book, this is why I like to take all my orders through the proper channels.
You promised them to your Patreon, so how are you going to take orders for that?
Oh yeah. It's not that. No, see, I got you. I just need to know if it's a Patreon thing. I already know. Did I give you? Did you want a Larry's book or my book, or what did I say I was going to give you? Because I know I sent the shirt. Tell me you got the shirt. And that's a dope shirt. I'd hate that shirt to get lost. I was going to keep that shirt. Mr. Fugazi, have you read my books? You need to read my books. Fugazi? It's just tomato. What do you mean? You got to read my books. Go to find my books in Amazon. Order them. To be a king. I'm going to eat. What? I'm doing a sauce tasting. A sauce tasting test. I got wings, chicken wings, and I have hot. What is it? Yeah. Note it says ghost pepper sauce. And then this stuff, which is way hotter. Ghost pepper sauce.
The other one was wing sauce.
The other one's wing sauce, but it's still got ghost pepper. And I'm gonna have some because I'm super hungry. But if my mouth will go numb, I'm trying to find a sauce that'll make me tap out. You know a sauce that'll make me tap out? Because I know all these people with these chili pepper challenges and all this. I keep going up in the Scovilles, and I'm not tapping out. So look at this. I'm gonna show you. It's hot though. What's a good ghost pepper? I mean, good pepper that.
Carolina Reaper.
Carolina Reaper? My wife says Carolina Reapers. Because nothing seems to wipe me out. That's a really good hot. Really, really tasty. It's pretty freaking hot though. Back to the Asians, man. Honey, what's the deal with the world today and Asians? Why are they pretending that we're all racist to Asians now?
By they, you're talking about the left?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing going on right now. They gotta keep it's like...
You gotta keep the hate alive.
Bellows, fanning the flames. They gotta keep throwing more fuel on it. That's what I think. Nobody's out there hating Asians.
Yeah, no. Have you guys ever hated on Asians? I like Asians. They're all nice.
Oh, smart. All nice. They all work hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just propaganda. Trying to keep people agitated.
I don't know, man. If you guys are out there being mean to Asians, shame on you.
But do you agree, though? That's not really real?
No, it's not real. Man, I could drink that hot sauce. That's ghost chilies, man. Ron Contic says he loves Asian chicks. I had a phase.
There you go.
Gunnar, I am going to look at Amazon and get your books, mate. Thanks for telling me about that. Yeah, of course. George says, I didn't get your book or shirt. What the frick? What do you mean? Bro, I sent that shirt. That shirt. You wanted the shirt with the camo. You should have got that a long time ago, man. Oh, jeez, man. I'm going to go find a freaking receipt. I just sent you another shirt. But I sent you that. I sent that shirt. Probably got lost in the mail. I don't know. But I definitely sent it. I like that shirt. That shirt was dope. I packaged it myself. Watch, I'll go look and it'll be there. But if it is, listen, so I'm going to send you both, man. Jeez, man, I'm sorry. Text me your address again. I'd be pissed, man. I hate to think that we lost the shirt. It's like a $45 shirt. Damn. Yeah, can we talk about this Asian situation? That's what I'm talking about, Nicholas Greenwood. Mickey Blue Eyes, that's funny. You could do your movie reviews in my barbershop, the Elite Barbershop LA. I'm trying to figure out how we can make that happen. Yo, are we Asian racist? That's what I'm saying, Adrian. Are we Asian racist? I mean, what I will say about Asians is they have. I really enjoy their massage parlors. Or I used to as a kid. I mean, when I was young. Excuse me, honey. I'm saying I only went to one. They're good at doing nails and hair, right?
Honey, stop. Now you're being ridiculous.
That's all I know about Asians. So why would I hate them? Kidding. I know they're good at math. A lot of doctors. Smart. Nice. They're always nice and friendly. I'm not racist. I'm trying to say all the good things that.
Why don't you state the situation for what it is? Explain it how I just explained it.
That what? What do you mean? How you explained it?
But they're just trying to dig a board and there's nothing happening, so they're keeping the thing.
Oh. I don't even take my market. Nobody in my audience is dumb enough to believe anything but that.
Oh, I know.
So I mean,
Maybe there might be one or two who are learning.
okay, it's the media riling up the freaking thing because they got nothing to do because there's nothing popping off. Joe Biden's the freaking brain dead puppet, and so I just went on all in on the hot sauce though. This is the hot sauce. It's all over this thing. This is ghost pepper. It's about to get hot. But I won't tap out. Thank you, William.
You're welcome.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's a hot one. Anybody eat ghost pepper before? Probably wasn't the best, smartest move to eat a ghost pepper chicken wing as I'm doing a YouTube show. Because it's starting to get numb. What do we got? Asian racism is the latest media push. Yep, exactly. Strict parents. Oh yeah, Adrian Adams says of Asians, he says strict parents. Mm-hmm. That's why Asians are successful. Mm-hmm. That's why most Asians are successful. They have two parents that are. I mean, in life, let's face it. The only people who are going to be successful, on average, as a median, as a whole, is people who have two parents. And those parents sacrifice. Those parents, they have work ethic. They work hard. They sacrifice. And so, Asian, black, white, Chinese doesn't matter. But Asians do that per capita, probably better than white people. You know, wouldn't you say per capita that Asians are, kids come from married two-family homes more than when whites. It's like they're probably like 95%. Whites are probably like 60%.
Not even the U.S. is in a free fall of morality right now.
You hit Marissa. The U.S. is in a free fall of morality right now. I still feel like 60% of kids are.
Yeah, probably more like 40.
Yeah, you might be right. She says more like 40. 40% of kids are born out of wedlock. Let's go for another one. This is a nice, pretty hunk of meat. This is that ghost pepper, huh? Dump it on. Nothing scares me. I don't care. I'm ready to. I'll die for mine. I'll smother this for this whole wing.
Oh my gosh! Think about your poor wife tonight, though.
It's about to get ugly. Huh? Mm. Mm.
This is the perfect song I'm gonna sing, but you wouldn't know it.
Mm. It's weird because it's like hot on my gums. What's the song?
You know the song "The Sky is Burning" by Bad Company? I was gonna assume your ass is burning, but
Oh.
you wouldn't know the song.
My nose is running. I don't want to touch my nose because I'll be in trouble. How do we fix it? How do we fix it? Oh man, that's the whole show, bro. I don't have time to do that whole show. Listen to my radio show though on Friday nights, 9-10 a.m. Detroit. I'm gonna get there. I have a feeling it's gonna turn into an entire debate about the whole show is going to end up being about that. So this week we're going to be talking about Kwame Kilpatrick and what a great job he's done for his black community. No. Radio show's called 910. The station is 910 Superstation AM. The name of the show is called Our Thing Detroit. And tune in. If you're out of the, you can get it on iHeartRadio. I'm sorry, my face is on fire. I'm blowing on the inside of my mouth.
You want some milk or something?
Nope, that's tapping out. My lips are on fire on here. So yeah, check out the. Did he get a pardon? Yes, he did. He's out. Old Trumper got him out of there. Travis Drury, what up? D Moore in the house. And our friend Dan Moore. He's a good friend of mine. Dan, I'm a little funny sounding right now because I just ate some ghost some ghost pepper hot sauce on my chicken wings. My mouth is really bad. We did enjoy today. Today we just worked around the house. I did a lot of work around the house, little odds and ends, things that needed to be done outside. You know, we had this huge, massive windstorm at some point, and I kind of messed up the siding. I had to fix that and just pick up all the sticks that all the trees broke. You know, with the wind, the trees. And I played around the 4-wheeler and the dirt bike a little bit, and just cleaned the house. It was beautiful. We enjoyed it. Let the chickens out, let the cats out. So thanks for asking, man. I was thinking about you. I was thinking about when you come over with your backhoe. My neighbor's got a bunch of these pine trees, man. They're like a whole bunch of them. They're like, I'm talking like 10-foot high pine trees, really dense ones. I'm gonna ask them if I can buy like 10 of them, and we can just go scoop them out and then bring it over to the front of my house and then plant them. I don't know if that's an option, but I think it shouldn't be too hard. With your machine, you should be able to just like and just pull them right out. You know, I'm no expert, but you gotta teach me how to use that thing because it looks fun. He's got this thing. I want to learn. I always wanted to learn. You got a nice one too. Brand new. Oh, my mouth is on fire, man. If anyone's listening, just tuning in, I just ate some ghost pepper hot sauce, chili sauce. My face is on fire. My face is numb, but I'm soldiering through. See, nothing. It won't make me tap out. Ghost pepper. Just up until like a couple years ago, ghost pepper was the hottest chili you could find. Somebody like this dumping this on a chicken wing would be considered insane. Well, holla at your boy Mark Schumacher. What's up? Hit me with the $25 super chat. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for your generosity. My face is a little numb at the moment. But, I mean, one thing I want to say about that is I do these super chats, again, not with an intention to make money. So it's cool when people are like, yo, I'm going to take a couple bucks out of my pocket, man. Because I feel like the time and energy you put into your other content and this content too, it has value to me. I think it's worth $25. So here, man, bang, thank you. And that's dope. And I found stations like this too, and they didn't even watch them ever again, but watched them one time, and be like, oh, this dude, because he's so talented, or I like the subject content, I would donate to that. My wife does it. You have to get your own hot sauce line. You guys are great. Rock on. He said rock on, brother. But I'm just saying, what would I call my hot sauce?
I don't know. I think fire. I don't know, something like that.
Just whacked. This is your like whacked sauce.
No.
You eat it and you feel like you got whacked. Like you've been whacked. There's a gangster on there with a gun. He's like, whack sauce. Whack. WACKED. Whacked. Because you eat it, you're going to be like whack. How about hit sauce?
That's what I was just going to say.
I took it out of your mouth. I beat you to it. You were slacking on it. I had to beat you to it. She's about to say it. I said, hit sauce. There's a gangster on the front of it. Hit sauce. With a Tommy gun. It's got to be hotter than this, though. It's got to make. I think this would make most people tap out, in my opinion. I should tell this. My whole story is the. I'm not gonna tell the story of the first pepper I ever ate, unless you really want it. But
save it, because you have the other pepper story too.
What other pepper story?
You were in prison. You scrunched.
Oh yeah. We'll do a whole pepper story. I'll say I want to do a funny video for my show about my first pepper experience, which was freaked out. Let me just tell you, Sicilians don't eat spicy, nothing. Sicilians is sweet. Everything's sweet. None of the sauce, nothing marinara, none of it soups, nothing. It's all kind of a sweet thing. There's no hot, spicy, nothing. That's Northern Italians. That's because they have, I don't know where they get it, man, but the Sicilians don't. And I ended up eating one, and it was first time experience, and it was not fun. It wasn't. I'll tell you. I'm going to tell the whole story, and it's actually really funny. I paid the price for being cocky. Nikki Quazzarano, what's up, man? I met you a few times at the Italian Festival at Freedom Hill. Oh, all right. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? Oh, Nikki, I know. This is Nikki. Wait a minute. This Nikki, the big guy, big Nikki Quazzarano. I'm trying to think. I think Nikki. I think this is.
You don't know.
No, I think I remember him. He's got a very memorable name. Memorable name. Jimmy Quazzarano was one of my grandpa's Gumbati. And Nick, if this is Nikki, and I'm thinking of, he bought a tracksuit. He's a big guy. Anyway, he said he met me at the Italian Festival. So nice to see you, and nice to talk to you again, Nikki. Hope you're good, man. I don't think I'm going to be doing the Italian festivals anymore. There's just too much work involved. And although I make money and it's fun, just to a degree, there's so much preparation and work involved. And it's just, I needed the money the last couple of times. This time, I'm not saying I'm like rich or nothing, but I'm not desperate either. So I think I'd rather just take that weekend and go trout fishing if I can afford it. It's a lot of work. It's hot, man. I almost had a heat stroke down there. But then again, I might, who knows? I don't know what's going to happen in a couple of months financially. I need the money. I go down there and do it. Yeah, COVID. There's nothing from COVID. I don't think it'll be this year either, man. I have a feeling it won't be. Like, I'm supposed to help. I'm supposed to be a part of the Mob Movie Con, which is this big event where we had all these actors involved and everything was good. I mean, these guys spent a couple $1 million on it. I was going to be hosting a panel of writers, of true crime writers, a panel, and I was going to be the MC, like the orator. And I had arranged them. They in exchange for me arranging all this thing, or they were flying me out there and putting me up in a hotel, and they let me run the show, get a free booth, and like the best spot in the thing, so I could sell my apparel, I could sell my books. So these guys were, kind of. They're making it worth my while. Good dudes. I like them. And I was picked for a reason. And I got killed because of COVID. And so they got it coming around full circle this year, and they want to do it in July. I just don't think, I'd be surprised if you can get all the talent, all the actors and producers and directors that are going to show up at a big conference hall place in Atlantic City. And then also, you're trying to get 50,000 people a day to come to this event or whatever it is. It's a long shot, man. I feel bad about these guys. Nikki, yeah, I'm going to be doing more podcasts with Scott Bernstein for sure. I gotta. You might have met Scott Bernstein at the Italian Festival. Scott Bernstein was at the Italian Festival with me, sitting in my booth. Yeah, you may have met him. Is this Nikki Quazzarano? Are you related to Jimmy Quazzarano? You don't have to answer that if you don't want, but I'm just curious. Yeah, I don't think this year either, George. You just said I don't see the Mob Movie Con happening. We're starving, guys. Is this all the wings?
Yeah, that's it.
You can never have enough chicken wings. I'm just saying. Chicken wings are awesome. Note that I haven't been eating more hot sauce though. It's easier to talk. My face isn't numb.
You want this stuff?
Hmm?
Habanero mango stuff?
I'm gonna try it. Habanero mango sauce. Never enough wings there, Wilson agrees. Have you ever, just Nicholas Greenwood says, you ever been to some down south states like Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, Mardi Gras, New Orleans? No, no, not at all. I lived in Missouri, in the Ozarks of Missouri for a year. We didn't go to any interesting things. Our town was super cool though. Our town was awesome. It was like a throwback to like 1930. And they had a bunch of antique stores and like knick-knack stores in town and like thrift stores, like a whole strip of nothing but that. It's cool, man. I wish we would have got to go shopping more.
I know. You're telling me.
Well, COVID hit.
Yeah, that was it.
We'd only been there a few months and COVID hit.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't plan on leaving. So till we saw the tarantula crawling across the porch.
Oh, I was planning way before that.
Well, you were. I'm just saying. So that's it, man. But I loved it down south. I loved it. I mean, I enjoyed the people and the community and the Ozark Mountains and stuff. I loved it. A little more hot sauce.
You better start right.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna lose your sense of self.
Oh yeah, it's hot. Well, never enough wings. I don't have a good. Well, Nikki Guazaroff said I don't have a good relationship with my father's side of the family, so I would not know. I'm sorry. Hey, Nikki. If anyone understands that, it's me. I don't have a good relationship with either side of my family, so I get it. But Jimmy Q was one of my grandpa's friends, Carnivore, Quaz. Came around a lot. What are you eating over there, honey?
Hot dog sauce.
Hot dog sauce? You made hot dogs?
Pork rinds.
It's delicious. Pork rinds dipped in hot dog sauce. Sounds very carnivore.
Hot dog sauce is not really that carnivore, but.
Has anyone ever tried to take your food in prison, Al? I know people don't play about their food. Well, it's funny. I was just, I don't know what show, what I was recording. I was just recording a show, a video, the other day. I don't remember what it was, though. I was talking about how a dude, when I was on work release, some black dude tried to take my cookie off my tray. He did take the cookie off my tray, and I jumped over the table and beat his ass, stomped him. And I was on work release, so what was I recording that for? It must be one of my YouTube shows. So I was recording it. I was talking about. But so I got put on like I had to do 6 months work release in the county jail. They let me go to work, but I doctored up my schedule so I could spend time with my girlfriend, and they caught me. So I was like on probation, yeah, I know, it's stupid. So then the next time, about a week after that, I've only been on work release like 3 months, only 3 weeks. It's this new dude, this black dude, kind of fat black dude, maybe he's 30 years old. At the time I'm 19, 20. Sits across from me, says, "Man, let me get your cookie." I'm like, "No, man, I'm eating my cookie. I like this best thing on the tray." Well, I'll never forget. It was like a cookie with a little red cherry filled center, and it was in a package. And you rip it open, and you eat it. Best thing on the tray. Had a little milk carton there. I was like, "Hell yeah!" He's like, "Let me get your cookie." I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm eating my cookie." And he says again, "Let me get your cookie." I said, "Man, I told you, man, I'm eating my cookie." And I moved it. I'm like, moved it back, and he didn't like that, so he jumped up and reached over and grabs it off my tray, and I don't hesitate. I said, "Motherfucker!" I jumped, snapped over, wham, 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 just tackled him across on top of him, started pounding him. But there's a officer desk right there. It was in D unit in Macomb County Jail, the old block, the old D block, and there's like an officer station right there, and they heard me just freaking pounding on this freaking dude. So they came running and break it up. And so yeah, then I got kicked out of the work release program. They stuck me up in the tower, so I just stayed the next 4 months in the tower. Actually, no, 3 months. My girlfriend got me a lawyer and got me a time cut. I got out 34 days early, but really that was just God, because that's where I found God. By the way, it's I was sitting in the day room watching TV, people all around. It's loud. I'm just sitting there. I'm in jail, and I got like 4 more months left. And I look down. I see a daily bread on the floor under the table. Look at it. I said, "What is that?" Something compelled me to reach down and like get it. It was a long ways away too. It was like I had to move over, pass around or whatever. And I had to go get it. And I went and grabbed it. I sat down. And I read it. I went to I'm like, it's by date, so I went today's date, and I read it, and it had a prayer and a Bible verse, and it felt like it was literally talking to me. The relevance of whatever that was that day, it was perfectly aligned with what I've been going through that day. And I was like, oh my God, it's like talking to me, man. This is. I took it. Got locked up. I got a 1-man cell, and most guys had 2-man cells. My corner cell had a 1-man cell. So I get in there and I'd read it before I go to bed every night. Read it, go to bed. Read it, go to bed. And then I go months go by and I'm reading this thing every day. And then that's when my girl gets a lawyer to try to get me in front of a judge for a time cut. So I'm like, okay. So the night before I go get the time cut, and every day, by the way, I'm reading these. Every single day, the prayer and the Bible verse was like relevant to my day, and it almost was like it was talking to me. Like if somebody was in my head and basically watched my life, they would write this exact prayer and this exact verse or story, and I'm like, what the fuck is my life? So I believed in this thing. So anyway, I shut the book. And the day before I go to court, I'm like, well, I might not be here tomorrow. I never looked ahead, though. I never looked ahead at other days. I always just read, I'd shut it and wait for tomorrow, read tomorrow. Then I'm like, but then again, I might not be here tomorrow because I'm going to get a time cut. So maybe I'll look ahead. And there's a bunch of pages. There's like 10 pages in the book still. And I opened the book, and the pages were blank. All of them. The rest of the book were all blank. I'm like, what the frick is this, man? It was like half the book almost. So a little booklet, little thing about this big. So I went the next day in front of the judge. The judge said, you got anything to say? I said, yes, Your Honor. My sister was there, and she wrote a letter and talked to the judge. My grandparents, my grandma and grandpa Toko were in the courtroom. And anyways, the judge says, your time cut granted, and send me on my way. That's when I knew God was real.
Speaking of, we're going to watch The Chosen tonight, so maybe talk about it. I think I have 4 or 5 DVDs. If anybody wants one, I'll be happy to mail them one.
Okay, listen. We are supporters of the show The Chosen. It's a series about the life of Jesus, and it's really good, and it's really good. So we donate some of our money, we tithe, and some of our money we've tithed to The Chosen program, the project, and then they give us like boxes of DVDs and stuff to share with our friends. So by the way, anybody out there who's either like maybe possibly even a little bit on the fence about Jesus, or they are a big fan of Jesus, or they just love the story of Jesus, or just want some good entertainment, give me your number or your address.
Tell them to email it to you.
Yeah, email me at GunnerDetroit, GUNNER, Detroit @gmail.com, your address, and I will send you a DVD.
The whole season.
The whole season.
First season.
For whole first season. So it's dope. How many episodes is it? Probably 12 or something?
Yeah, it's not 10 or 12.
It's good. It's good. It's so good. And we're going to watch it right now. We've already watched it once. We're going back to watch it again because the next season's about to come out. And it's so good. It's amazing. Like, it's really well produced. It's dope. I'm telling you, it's dope. So, anyways, I get a couple of these more numbers. I want to finish these wings. I'm going to go ham on these wings. Huh? How's that for oxymoron? Go ham on the wings? Nicholas Greenwood, my second son, says, Al, have you ever been pulled over and thought you were done? Many times, man. Many times. He says, has anyone ever tried to take your food in prison? Oh, yeah, that's one I already answered. Jimmy Q says, Nikki Q, I'm sorry. I got a question if you're comfortable with answering it. Were you protected when you went to the can, or were you still welcome back in the neighborhood? Or were you still welcome back to the neighborhood? Listen, I'm not. That's two questions. So, Nikki, were you protected when you went to the can? I think you meant when I went to prison was I protected? I was like, no, 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 nobody protected me because I was connected or affiliated or a wise guy. Nothing. That had nothing to do with nothing. I was protected by this and God, and believe me, nobody wanted to mess with either. But yeah, I was. God protected me in prison, and but my reputation from the street followed me around. I wouldn't say it preceded me always, but I'd say it followed me around. And whatever joint that I went to, there was always guys there who knew me or knew me from the streets or knew of me from the streets, but usually just knew me from the streets. They'd seen me in action. They knew exactly what I was about, and they'd go tell everybody, and then word gets, it goes through quick, man. The whole compound. There's times where I hit a compound, get off the bus, and then have to go get my bedroll and stuff like that. And by the time I got to my unit, I'd already have 4 or 5 guys waiting there with me, waiting to be like, yo, here's freaking a jar of peanut butter, here's some soups, here's this, here's that, here's that. We know you don't get your property till tomorrow, and you're gonna be hungry, blah blah blah. And they just hook you up, and they all kind of stay around because one of them told somebody, and they're like, yeah, my boy Larry. My friend Janet, who just super chatted me a second ago, and we'll get to that now. She talks to Larry still, but I remember when I went to just West Shoreline prison, and he's like, this happened at multiple joints. It was the same dude actually, 2 different joints, and I'm good because he was connected with all these high level bikers, and he knew all the gang heads and gang leaders. But he said, I seen you coming across the yard. I knew it was you. I said, how? He's like, 'cause you walk like a gorilla, bro. That's what he said. He's like, you got a distinct walk. I knew it was you. So as I saw you going towards like C unit, so I went and got my boy in the yard. He was in C unit. What was his boy's name? Tommy, I think. Italian dude, Sicilian dude, and Tony. His name was Tony. Tony. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Starts with an S. Anyways, so he's like, I told Tony, this my boy Al's in there. Go get him, man. Take care of him, man. He's family, yada yada. So by the time I get in there, I'm checking into my unit, it's a pole barn setting. So I got like a cube. I'm checking in my cube, and here comes Tony, this other big dude, the big dude they call Country, and then I got some other dude, and they all come and introduce me and say, yo, Larry sent us, man. And then they bring me a bag of food, and they're like, you need anything else? And you got anything? I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. Thanks. I'm pink from the sun today. It's crazy.
Did you see Janet just gave us a super chat?
Yes, is that? Yeah, is that?
She's over there.
Where's my cat? Janet is a sweetheart. She's like a sister to me. This is my gumada. She's my girl. She's like Sorella. It's probably better to say than that. But she's been a huge support. She's been worried about my cat, Missy's mom. Hi, Missy. Missy's mom. Missy's mom is my little girl. It's like my daughter. And she's sick right now. She got a respiratory infection. And she was like, I thought she was going to die. I'm not joking if you watch the beginning of this. Come here, Missy's mom. Come up here. She normally doesn't leave me alone, but she got really. I thought she was gonna die, my damn cat. So, Janet, what did you want me to send you?
DVD, Goose.
Oh, the DVD. Oh, cool, for sure. You got a DVD player? Don't. Yeah.
One.
Got you. Ella, have you ever been pulled over and thought you were done? Yeah, I wanted to get back to that one, Nicholas. Nicholas, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
You ask him every single time.
Yeah, but he doesn't say. He doesn't tell you.
He doesn't want to.
You don't tell me how old are you and where are you from?
He's probably 64.
Dude, I doubt it. So I one time, oh my God, this is embarrassing. I got a bunch of stories like that. I gotta do a show about near misses. You know what I'm saying? All the times I'm gonna write them down. How many times near misses? Like I almost got arrested. This one time I'm going to I was supposed to go. I've been up all morning cleaning my jet ski. It's early in the spring, nice spring day, it's like June, first time. So I help wax my jet ski, get it all ready, so everything's ready to go. And I'm like, boom. My boy calls me. He's like, I need an ounce of heroin. So I call my boy to get the ounce of heroin from, but his phone's busy. Which I'm like, screw it. I'll just risk it and go down there and on a whim that he's gonna be there anyways. Cause my boy, where's he going? He's got freaking kids and whatever. So I go down there. I'm in my Suzuki Grand Catera. I don't know if you know what that is, but it looks like a Range Rover, but it's a Suzuki version of it. It's a dope little thing. It's on fat rims and tires. I got a freaking kicker in the back. The thing's bumping. It's whatever. It's black on black, and black with 5 stars on it. It's a pimped out car. Like my first ever real new pimped out car I ever bought. It was that car. Well, I mean, at least the Jeep. But then I didn't own a Jeep. But anyway, so I go down in the city, get the ounce of heroin, and it's only like, I only have to go, hey, Nikki, thank you. Nikki hit me with a $10 super chat sticker. So thank you, man. Thank you, Nikki Q. So I'm coming back from getting this ounce from my boy. His name's Larry. This black dude. And I'm coming down Gratiot, right? So I cross Gratiot going down, cross 8 Mile, right? I only had to go to 7 Mile to get the dope. Maybe it's like a couple streets over, like Tacoma or something. So I come back. I've only been gone across 8 Mile like 5 minutes, maybe 10 at the most. I'm coming back. I see this freaking narco cop, right? That's parked. I saw him when I was going by. He was on the other side of Gratiot, which is an 8-lane highway with a grass median in the middle. Of course, I'm hyper vigilant, so I'm always looking for cops. So I seen his ass parked across on the other side of the street, tinted windows. I don't know if it's a detective's car. I don't know if he's trying to burn people coming by. I don't know what, but I mark his ass. I got no shirt on, no shoes. I'm covered in like wax and crap because I've been cleaning my jet ski all morning. And this is right before I got locked up too, right before, like the summer before I got locked up. I had some crazy crap happen to me that summer, crazy. But anyways, when I'm coming back down Gratiot the other way, I forgot about that cop because there was some girls in a convertible Mustang in front of me, and they were in the convertible and they were right up but they're going really slow, and like I see them looking. They're looking for an address to a store or something on Gratiot, so they're slowing down like 25. And I got my sounds up bumping. I'm just boom, 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 boom. I'm like trying to get their attention so they like at least look back at me and be like, "What's up?" Nothing. I got the sounds is pounding. It's stupid, man. Like, how do these freaking girls can't hear me? I know if their hair is standing up, man. It's got to be going, boom, 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 boom. They're not even looking. So I'm not paying attention. I'm riding up on their bumper, trying to get closer to trying to make more noise. And all of a sudden, I look up. Here's the freaking cop, the narco cop that I thought that I saw about 10 minutes ago before going in. Now I got an ounce of heroin. It's in my glove compartment right next to him. Now the kicker I got is so big in the back of my Suzuki that it sticks up. You can't see. It's from like the back of my head down. That's how it is in my Jeep now. It's a big giant kicker in there too. You can't see. But so I know that they can't see where my hand's doing nothing here. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I got a pistol under the dashboard, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to find that because there's a perfect spot. You get up under the dashboard and there's a bunch of wiring. There's a 380 in there, and you just put it in there, and you can feel around, and you wouldn't even know it's not part of the car. So I had to get back in there with like a mirror or something. But anyways, so my reaction is do this. I freaking don't judge me. None of you freaking people judge me out there. Don't judge me. By the way, an ounce of heroin with my record, which is like 10 felonies, that's 20 years in prison, just so you know. So I'm driving back from, like I got no shoes on, bumping, and I got an ounce. This is a very, very dumb moment for me. Really dumb. I'm usually not this dumb. Why was it this dumb? I don't know. I was just dumb, stupid. You're young. Sometimes you do dumb stuff. I take this ounce of heroin, which is about the size of a golf ball. It's wrapped up in a freaking couple rubber balloons, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of heroin, by the way. If the balloon breaks, I'm dead in like 2 minutes. Up it goes. Then they call it keister. And the keister, boop, oh, up it goes. Up in there, boop, boop. And then just shove it up in there. Shove it straight up in there. Not comfortable. Pain. But, so cops pulled me over and flipped me over, and they I didn't know where to pull over, so they pulled me over right in the middle of mother effing grass, right in the middle, right there, against the grass median. Because I started was gonna go around, and it's like pull over, because I was gonna go around to the other side and get off in a parking lot or something. Nope, it flicks me and pull over. I stopped. So I got the Gratiot is an 8-lane highway that's banging, and I'm literally like a quarter mile past 8 Mile. So it's just crazy traffic. Cop comes over. Says, step out of the car. He says, what were you doing? I saw you go by 10 minutes ago. I said, I was going to pick up my friend to see if you want to go jet skiing. He's like, well, where is he? I'm like, he wasn't home. I'm like, he already freaking went to the beach. He already went to Belle Isle. I got there. I'm just the lie I made up on an instant too. I said my boy. I called him. His phone was busy, so I took a whim to see if he was gonna go home. I went there, and his wife said he already left with the kids there at Belle Isle. I said, screw it, I'm going to go jet skiing on my own, and that's it. He's like, you got any? And then he says, give me your license. So I give him my license. He runs my license. Comes back, goes, you got any drugs in here? I'm like, no, why? He's like, you've been busted for drugs before. I'm like, of course I've been busted for drugs. So what? Doesn't mean I got to. He's like, you just drive across 8 Mile 10 minutes ago. Now you're driving back across 8 Mile. I'm like, look at me, man. I've been polishing my jet ski all morning. I'm covered in like, the stuff that comes off the buffing wheel. It's all like the fabric and wax splattered all over me. I said, dude, I don't even have any shoes on. What do you think this is? I mean, look, I got a brand new dope ass pimped out like Range Rover car. I'm like, you freaking buying crack, man? He says, sit over here. Runs my name. Runs my plate. He says, you got a warrant. He says, you're driving on suspended, and you got a warrant. I said, warrant for what? He says, a seatbelt ticket you didn't pay. I'm like, I paid it. He runs all the information. He says, no, you sent $100. It was 110. That's what he tells me. So you got a warrant. And on top of that, that means you were driving on suspended. So I'm arresting you for that too. So before he just tells me that, he sits me in the curb and says, and starts searching, ripping my car apart, searching. And at the time, I think this is about the time that I started my own home improvement company, right? So I had like a briefcase with all the contracts, my measurement, all these like brochures for the materials that I could use in your kitchen or your bathroom, the house or whatever. Dude, for a guy just took it and trashed it, ripped it all apart, right? Then he goes to my kicker, flips the back open, opens it, takes a screw gun. By the way, first they have the canine shows up, blocks off this track. Now we're blocking off half of Gratiot. Canine shows up. And the canine's freaking running around. Dumbass, the cop's too stupid. I got a freaking ounce of heroin up my ass, but the dog ain't gonna be shoving his face up my ass. So I'm just sitting on the grass over here, and a million cars are going by. Everybody's looking, and there's cops in there ripping it apart. They're looking at it everywhere. Idiots ain't gonna find nothing. They pull the speaker out of my kicker. They're pulling the speakers out of my kicker. They didn't even put them back in. That's how douchebags were. They pulled them out, and there's no drugs in there. Just threw the speakers back in. Trashed everything, threw everything away. And that's when he comes over after 20 minutes to just demolish my car. He goes, yeah, well, you got a warrant because you owe $10 to freaking Novi, and by the way, you're driving suspended, so we're taking you to jail to do. So they take me to jail. They impound my car, by the way, and not only did they impound my car, but they put it on a flatbed for whatever reasons I don't know, which made them charge me like $300 for that. Impound my car. It was Labor Day weekend or Memorial Day weekend, excuse me, and I remember because it was a holiday, so I couldn't get my car till after the Tuesday. It cost me about $500 to get out. The douchebag East. Well, let me go back when I'm sitting in the freaking back. So they get me back to the police station, right? I got my phone, a Nextel flip chirp phone, right? That's all I got. And I'm got no shirt on, no shoes. I got just basketball shorts, and I'm 30. And a cop, they bring me in the back, and I got my phone in my hand. And the cop says, all right, man, I got to frisk you down again. I got to frisk you again. And I looked at him like, I said, really, bro? I got no shirt, no socks, no shoes on. What do you think I got in? I shook my nuts. I go, what do you think I got in here? Freaking who's in? I got nothing, He's like, yeah, all right. I didn't want to freaking, I wasn't really worried. The ounce of heroin was secured. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't going nowhere. So I go, he goes throw me in the cell, this holding cell. I'm like, he don't take my phone. So I'm like, okay, I almost said, is it cool that I got my phone? But I'm like, no, maybe he just don't care. So he freaking opened his cell, let me in. I went in there with my phone, and I went straight over to the toilet. Oh, dropped the deuce, flushed a freaking $5,000 hunk of heroin down the toilet. $5K, just deuces, no pun intended. People would always ask me, like, why would you do that? I'm like, because, bro, you just don't know. You get caught with it. You just don't know, man. One bad cough, and boom, it shoots out on the floor, man. And they're freaking, what is that? And then you're done, man. That's 20 years in prison, man. I can make the 5 G's, the 5 racks ain't nothing. I can get that back in freaking couple of days. But I had to go. My boys were dying. They're like, dude, you pooped out a freaking ounce of heroin and flushed it? And I'm like, you were already scot-free. But this is what's crazy, man. While they were arresting me, oh no, I had already called my girl. But they left me my phone because they at least let me do that with my phone. And I called but now I'm in the back and I'm calling my girl. And well, originally I'm like, I had the money. Most of it, anyways. And like, here, listen, in this envelope here's got like $3,000, and I go to Pat, my friend Pat, and get $2,000. My friend Pat O'Brien, and that's what she did. So I'm calling Pat. Yo, Pat, my girl's on her way. I'm in jail. Dude, Pat has done bounded me out of jail like 10, 15 times. Not joking, because he owns a bar and a restaurant. He's got a lot of cash. He's the only friend I had growing up was who always had loot, like the cash laying around, like a lot of cash. So I'd be like, come buy me out, and he did. I'd pay him right back. Always, it's like that. So he knew I was good for it. So I call him like, listen, I'm in jail. She's gonna come get a couple of G's. He's like, all right, I'm here. Boom, that's it. And so she went to my boys, got the money, and she's running around. And she gets all the way to the police station, and she pulls out her money and shows the cop, and the cop says, she's $1 short, man. $1. First of all, by the way, the captain of the police station can set your bond based on your record anywhere from 0, which is a PR bond, to up to 5,000 for driving unsuspended. So it can be 0 to 5,000. Most of the cops that I've ever encountered I have like 35 driving unsuspended. It might be more, but most of them are in St. Clair Shores, and they'd always give me a $500 bond. But then this was the East Point, and they're just douchebag scumbags, just really bitch ass cops. I mean, they're known for being bitch ass cops. They just terrorize everybody. And don't be black. That is a racist city. Don't be black. Well, it used to be. Now it's a lot of black people live there. But back in the day, 20 years ago, if you black ass stuck a toe over 8 Mile, you getting pulled over. Anyways, my girl shows up, and they tell her, no, you're $1 short, so you got to go. She's like, really? I've been running around for a freaking hour to get this money. You get up here and tell me it's $1 short. You said his bond at $5,000? $5,000 because he didn't pay $10 on a seatbelt ticket. He was driving unsuspended, and you're saying his bond is $5,000. Yeah, that's what we're saying. So she had to go all the way back to her work, which is across town to St. Clair Shores, go to her work, get a couple bucks, drive all the way back, and because at this point, I'm like, I started yelling for these motherfuckers. I'm like, yo, they ain't coming back. I was like, yo, senor, deputy. They come back and freaking like, what's the problem, man? I was like, yo, man, my girl been here, bro. It's been freaking hour and a half, man. She said she's got on her way. And I'm saying, because at some point, I think they did take my cell phone away at some point. At some point, the guy came in and was like, yo, man, you can't have that in there. Took it. Or maybe I didn't, but I feel like he did. Because I remember yelling at the cops, like, yo, my girl, where is she at? And they're like, oh, yeah, she came, she left. She didn't have enough money. And I'm like, what do you mean she came and left, didn't have enough money? What the frick does that even mean? She's like, I don't know, man. She came, she didn't have enough money, she left. So then she came back, and then when he bombed me out, I asked her, what the frick happened, man? I've been here for 2 hours. She says, they wouldn't take me. I was $1 short. And go, man, what bitches? And then the next day when I got to the impound, or no, next week actually, when I get the impound, they're like, yeah, it's $500 or something. Well, it's just insane, $500.
Bring on the LTE.
We're back. You're live. That's what it says on there. Anyway, so that would be the one time that I thought I was about to get cooked. But dude, there's so many. I could do a show. I could do literally like a 2-hour show about all the times that getting pulled over when we thought we were cooked, where we're dirty, had drugs, had guns, or just were just high or drunk, or oh my god, there's so many when we were kids. I mean, it was cat and mouse in St. Clair Shores with us. Oh man, remind me to tell the story about stealing Dana's cardigan. It's a long night, believe me. It's a crazy ass night. Me and Pat got on a high-speed chase with the cops in a Chevette, got out and ran, and got caught. Still got caught. Drunk as hell. And the cops fucking let us go, dude. They drove his car home. They put us back in the backseat of the cop car, and one cop drove his car. They're like, oh, your dad's Zeno, right? Owns Pat O'Brien's bar? And he's like, yeah. He's like, all right, get in the freaking car, we'll drive you home. And they drove home, knocking on his door, told his parents. They didn't even tell my parents. They're like, yeah, you already know you're a freaking loser. Just get out of the car and go. They told his parents, they knocked on the door, like, oh, he was drunk, blah, blah, blah. And dude, we went on a crime spree that night. That's what I'm saying. It was like a one-man crime spree. I did something that was really stupid, and I'll tell you about it another day, but I'm not proud of it. Anyways, I'm about to call this one night. Anyone listening? Before I go, any good questions, Janet? Stop telling me I don't have to. Oh yeah, bumping Bushwick Bill. And by the way, Nikki, thanks again for the sticker, man. Thank you. Thanks again for Janet, my sister, for supporting us and loving us and carrying it off to want to help all the time. That's super sweet. She's always helping all she can. Nicholas, I hope I answered your questions and gave you a couple good stories. Nobody else ever tried to take my food in prison except that one time. So Chevette, nice, right? George still listening. I guess Nikki said, were you an associate or in Detroit family or foot soldier? I would say, I would say a foot soldier. I mean, yeah, I mean, if I had to put a rank on myself, I mean, not that I ever thought of it like that, but I was, because of my family, it was blood, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I would look at associates more like guys who really weren't, they didn't know what I know or around people that I was around. But I mean, some guys might have thought I was just associate, and some guys were soldier. I never really put a title on it. I was just a dude who was around these guys or working with my uncle and hustling, and they were bad guys. Anyways, I'm gonna call it a night.
Anybody else wants the Chosen? Remind them.
Anybody else wants The Chosen? We have a bunch of DVDs. We want to give you one. It's a great series. Take it. They're free. Pop it in. Popcorn. Rock it out. They're amazing. Trust me. You'll be glad you did. For now,
so tell them to
email me. Yeah. gunnerdetroit@gmail.com. And give me your address. And I'll hook you up. Or you can hit me on Facebook Messenger or Instagram, whatever the case is. But now I'm super exhausted. It's been a long ass day. I'm gonna finish these wings and still not snuggle with my wife as we watch The Chosen. So hope everyone has a great night. Thank you for everyone who chatted and super chatted and tuned in and listened. God bless. Maria says God bless.
Good night.
And we know how we do it.
We out.
We out. Have a good night. Stay safe, guys.